Kings.com/pro.
Prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Town Square Media has teamed up with Seize the Deal to bring you unbeatable local offers on food and family fun right here in South Jersey.
Get a $50 gift card for only $25 to Island Grill in Ocean City. It's the area's go-to restaurant for fresh catch local seafood with a laid-back beach vibe. Or get two $25 gift cards for the price of one to Twist Pretzel and Ice Cream.
Deals like these go fast, so grab yours today at seizethedeal.com.
SeizeTheDeal.com.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him again!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Tipped in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Finally!
This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
We are broadcasting live for the brand new Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City. Josh Hennig along with Mike Carlin. Mike Carlin for a second straight week with me. You haven't gotten rid of me yet, Mike. What's going on here? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I am ready to be here at Tropicana. What a beautiful place. And this Gridiron Pit is the place. If you're a gambler and you like sports, I don't know if there's a better place in Atlantic City to come.
We're going to be telling you about the new Gridiron Pit throughout the show. Plus, we will be telling you how you can win prizes. There's so many prizes we're going to be giving away today. We're not going to give it all away, but here's the deal. You must be present to win, Mike Carlin. What we're going to do is throughout the day, if you come down to Tropicana Atlantic City, we have a sign-up sheet. We need your name, your email. Throughout the day, we will announce winners at random. You have a chance to win Caesar Sportsbook hats, hoodies, and Mike, tell people about the grand prize that they can win thanks to the great folks here at Tropicana Atlantic City.
So we are giving away a one-night stay, Sunday through Friday, meaning a Friday night you could be here for the weekend, and it's all expense paid, and it's going to be it's a great gift. Trust me, you're going to have people coming up that want the hotel room and watch the game and gamble. And this area, this Gridiron Pit, really, you got to see it to believe it with the TVs. The dealers are all already, we're looking at them. They're playing blackjack. It's going to be a fun day. And we have some great college football games that we'll talk about, and the Eagles will talk about. And we're ready to go. Josh, you ready to go?
I am ready to go. And I've been chomping at the bit to talk about the Eagles game on Thursday. Listen, a day like for those who don't know, Mike, in our business, in the media business, for those who don't know, I've been doing this now for 20 years, right? A day after an Eagles game that's during the week, it's hard to get everything in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If the game is on a Sunday or a Monday, it's a little easier. But a Friday, there's just so much going on. So I got a lot of thoughts to get to on the game on Thursday. Let's remind folks of the upcoming lineup today. Coming up, Andy McNamara, fantasy football analyst. He joins us every week at 125. Rob Maaddi is back for the second straight week. AP Senior NFL Insider 225. If you want to join the conversation, you have a chance to win prizes as well. 609-403-0973. Tell us your thoughts. Eagles opening night win. Phillies won 6 of their last 8. You join the conversation, leave your name and your email. You have a chance to win as well, but you must be present to win the big prize, which is to stay here at Tropicana. But if you want to have a chance to win the hat or the hoodie, you can still text in 609-403-0973. That is the text board because, Mike, there's a couple things we got to hit on about the Eagles game. And I think one of those things has to be, for me, and I'm not trying to be dismissive,
Okay.
but we're not going to spend 3 hours talking about Spitgate.
I'll spend 30 seconds if you're ready.
Listen, if people want to have a conversation about it, text in, but otherwise we're not going to dwell on it because I said it yesterday and I've said it on social media and I'll say it today. There is no precedent for a guy spitting. There's been several players that spit on players over the last 30 years. None of them got suspended. Jalen Carter needs to be fined. Money is the only thing these players care about. They do not care about suspensions. They don't care about anything else. The moment you take money out of their pocket, that's how you hurt them, Mike Carlin. So Jalen Carter does not need to be suspended. And anyone who says he should be suspended doesn't understand how the pro athlete thinks in today's world. In today's world, they don't all do it for the love of the game. They do it for their pocket. They do it for their bank account. They do it for generational wealth to take care of their families. This is a job. This is a business. And at the end of the day, that's what those guys care about. It's not the suspension. That is not going to get through to him. And Nick Earnshaw back in the studio. So it's on SB page 2. I think it's the page I already left up. There's a soundbite from Sal Paolantonio. He joined the Mike Gelman Sports Bash yesterday. Nick, it's on the bottom line. I think it's the second to the left. When Sal Pal talked about why Jalen Carter cannot be suspended, why there is something bigger at stake here with Sal Paolantonio. So, Nick, if you could play that audio, this is from yesterday's Sports Bash with Mike Gill right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Jalen, when it happened, were you like in a fit of rage or what was your
No, I was calm. I walked off the field calmly. I was not mad. That's pretty much, I couldn't really do nothing else. The rough decision is the rough decision.
All right, that was the Jalen Carter explaining the decision he made. But we'll get to the Sal Powell bite maybe a little bit later. But let's get back to the game because once Jalen Carter left the game, the Cowboys scored
whole new ball game.
14 points.
2 straight drives.
I have not heard enough about the job that Vic Fangio did. Vic Fangio is arguably one of the greatest defensive coordinators in Eagles franchise history. Okay? I know a lot of you out there listening on 97.3 ESPN, watching on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig as we are broadcasting live in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios right here at Tropicana Atlantic City. I know a lot of you love Buddy Ryan, Jim Johnson, Jim Schwartz won a championship. But Vic Fangio is in the conversation for one of the greatest coordinators. Not just because of the job he did to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, Mike Carlin. It's because of the fact that this is a man who on Thursday night said, I am without one of the 5 best defensive players on the planet. Dave Klemick said this morning, he made a great point on Billy Schwein in the locker room on 97.3 ESPN. He said the great defenses are built around one big stopper, okay? Now, with that in mind, you lost that guy. You took out the centerpiece of an entire defensive system. They only got 1 quarterback hit the entire game. Almost no quarterback pressure. I think they ended up with 3 at the end of the game. And it was all because of Jalen Carter. But what Vic Fangio did is he said, Adoree Jackson's getting torched. I'm without my best defensive player. My defensive line's having trouble getting pass rush. I'm going to make adjustments. The adjustments that he made is legendary. That man gave up 14 points in 2 straight drives, 0 points in the second half.
Correct.
The fact that we are not talking about Vic Fangio, the job that he did enough in the days after, Jalen Carter spitting does not matter anymore in this conversation. We are putting it to bed here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. The conversation needs to be about the fact that Vic Fangio has evolved from being just another DC for this organization to doing an amazing job without his best player, with a trash corner in Adoree Jackson. And he said, I got to make adjustments. By the way, a rookie starting at safety as well. Don't forget about that. A rookie starting at linebacker. He has rookies. He has inexperienced guys. I mean, Moro Jomo did absolutely nothing on Thursday night. That guy is a waste of a roster spot right now. You know who showed up? Brian Young. Nobody even knows who Young is, okay? But, he almost had an interception because Vic Fangio went into halftime and said, boys, we are making adjustments. We are recalibrating this thing, and we are going to kick their you-know-what. BTA in the second half on Thursday night. And you know what? I think that all the Eagles, at least in the building, Mike Carlin, realize how important Vic Fangio is to this organization and their success.
Listen, I don't think it's a secret how good Vic is. Vic's one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL right now in defense. He's proven that. And it was almost like, you go in at halftime and sometimes you say you got to throw the book out the window because it's not working and we got to re-ramp. He does it on the fly. And it just seems he's making all the right decisions. What I really liked is that you mentioned about the rookie. He's playing more rookies this year right out of the gate than he's done the last couple of years he's been with you. Remember who did the strip in the third quarter? Remember Campbell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, rookie out of Alabama. He's the one that was at the IMG game the week before in Ocean City.
Right.
I mean, he's playing guys that he truly believes belong on the field and can do the job. And what's right is that he gives you a chance to perform and show him a way of saying, this is what I can do. But yeah, I mean, I think you got to give credit to both defenses because Dallas's defense was pretty good in the second half too.
It was good,
stopping the Eagles.
But I think if you want to go to the Eagles' offense, folks can text in at 609-403-0973. It's the idea that as we are live here at Tropicana Atlantic City, when you looked at that game and you were looking at the odds, right? If you come down here to the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana Atlantic City, you can watch the games, you can play table games, you can spin the wheel for great prizes, and you can get great food right here at Tropicana Atlantic City. But part of the conversation, Mike Carlin, is if you were here watching the game, you were watching the game at home, you were listening to Merrill Reese and Mike Quick on 97.3 ESPN, it's the idea that did people really think this was going to be a shootout on Thursday night? Like, I heard people saying they should take the over on the spread, and you're right. Dallas made adjustments as well. Matt Eberflus, where did he used to coach? The Indianapolis Colts. Who did he used to coach with? Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo. You didn't think for 1 minute that Eberflus might have had something up his sleeve, had something prepared for these guys, and that's exactly what he did. Because you know what they did? They did a great job to Dallas of saying, we know that the Eagles' O-line is one of the best in football, Mike Carlin. They said, we are not even going to worry about if our guys can get to Jalen Hurts, because it's almost like they conceded it. You watch those pass rushes back, you realize that the Eagles' O-line was shoving those guys out of the way. They were more concerned about stopping A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. A.J. Brown was double-teamed almost the entire night. Correct. And to your point, Mike Carlin, in the second half, after Goddard got all those big receptions in the first half, you almost saw none of it in the second half? Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
And I think that is part of
I think the rain delay killed all offense on both teams for the most part.
Yes.
And helped the defense on both. I mean, that was very clear.
Helped. And that's why I think that the Jalen Hurts run at the end of the game was so crucial.
Big game.
That run for the first down.
Not just how many first downs did he have? I mean, and that's I'm glad you brought that up. We have a whole time. We have plenty of time to talk about this game, but I want my biggest obstacle that I saw that he is really overcoming now is that it used to be we didn't want him running, we don't want him getting hurt kind of thing. Guess what? This guy knows how to run not to get hurt. And we just cannot, when I say we, the NFL can't stop him from running. It used to be when you were, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, it's a little pop over the middle.
Yes.
Now it's just snap it back. Who are you going to stop? You're going to give it to Barkley? He may get it. You may just do a dump over the middle. They may get it. Now the easiest way, just let him drop back. No one's around. Boom. He's gone. He's going to get the 3-4 yards every time. Forget about the push tush and all that. I'm more important of the 3-4 yards that he gets to get the first down. He got every third down there was just to keep the clock going.
And you know what? To that point about the Eagles offense, Hurts did a excellent job at calibrating. Hey, they took A.J. Brown away. They just took Devontae Smith away. I'm going to go to Jahan Dotson as Mike Carlin is wearing a Penn State hat for the second straight week, right?
And watching him.
He went to Dallas Goedert. He went to different guys who were not the two main stars. And by the way, I think Barkley might have had more targets out of the backfield last night than almost all of all season. Like that, maybe that's where the change from Patullo to Kellen Moore really comes into the conversation. It's about the fact that this is an organization that said, hey, man, we got to get the ball into our best players' hands more often out in open space. And we're going to get to the text board in just a minute. Keep them coming in, 609-403-0973. I see Justin from Galloway, Jeff in Ocean City, and and Andrew from Delaware. You are all qualified for a chance to win a Caesar Sportsbook hat right now. If you come down here to Tropicana, you have your opportunity to win a stay right here at Tropicana.
Overnight stay.
Tell the folks again really quick about that stay.
Overnight stay from Sunday to Saturday, meaning a Friday night you can stay here. Free of charge. You got to be here. Come on over, introduce yourself to us, and you'll go in the running for an overnight stay.
All right, so let's get to some of these texts in a moment at 609-403-0973. But all of you out there, we all saw stuff during the game that was a huge part. And as Mike Carlin and Nick Earnshaw is doing a great job back in the 97.3 studio knows, I have a super long list of notes that I made. So I don't even know if we'll have time to get to all of them, but let's hit on what you guys listening on 97.3 ESPN FM. We're streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig, at 97.3 ESPN on X. Of course, we are live in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios here at the Gridiron Pit in Tropicana, Atlantic City. I don't want to neglect the text, Mike Carlin, so let's get to them. We got Andrew in Delaware chimes in and says, hey, Josh, I was disappointed in Jalen Carter's actions. I spoke about this yesterday when you read my text online about how the new addition of Zadarius Smith, I believe he was on the Browns last year as an edge rusher. I think he can help us as a bench piece and get some sacks. Is it just me, or did Jalen Hurts look a lot faster on Thursday night? Well, a couple things there. One, for those who didn't see, I wrote the article on 97.3 ESPN.com. They signed Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith is a bona fide pass rusher. This man has basically been one of the top pass rushers over the last decade. And you added him at a discount yesterday. Howie Roseman, the Eagles, said it wasn't enough for us to shut down Dallas in the second half. We have to go out and get Zadarius Smith. We need to get a bona fide pass rusher because Jalix Hunt did not look like he was ready for the occasion.
Correct.
Patrick Johnson, he's more of a special teams guy, not a blitzer. Azeez Ojulari was a healthy scratch on Thursday night. And Josh Uche, solid player, good first name, but not a great night at the office. So that's why they had to get Smith. And I'm excited because now what Howie Roseman told Vic Fangio is said, hey, you need more weapons? I'll get you a weapon. And he didn't just sign him, Mike Carlin. He was in the building the next day. Yeah. The picture was him signing the paper. Howie, remember when they showed that?
You know what that tells me? Is he was calling him during the game.
Well, I was going to say.
It's like, hey, are you watching this? We need you here tomorrow.
Did anybody notice they showed Howie Roseman during Thursday night's game on the television broadcast? He had an iPad in front of him. He was on the phone. You don't think Howie was Howieing on Thursday night? You don't think Howie was working? He was doing work. He was saying, man, we only got one quarterback hit this entire game. Jordan Davis had Dak Prescott in his arms. They couldn't take him down. I got to get more. I got to get more. Howie is not satisfied. That's why he's the best GM in football. So I'm glad that Andrew in Delaware brought that up. Now, the Jalen Hurts point. I do think Jalen Hurts is faster for one reason. This might be the healthiest he has been in about 3 years. Remember, Jalen has had these nagging injuries, right? The ankle, the shoulder, the ribs, the knee, the this. I mean, the guy is a stud. He plays through almost every injury possible. But you could argue this was the most healthy he has been coming off of a season, which is amazing, Mike Carlin, because he played all the way to the Super Bowl.
And remember, he's built to be a running quarterback. Some quarterbacks are not built to be a run. His lower body from the waist down, he is just solid. And you see him, how he just bounces off guys. But he also has learned that when to slide. He also knows, hey, if I get the first down, I don't have to get more and then get a chance of getting hurt. He's very happy with just going down, first down, let's move on. I just think, we've been talking very positive about the Eagles, and I haven't asked you this, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
It was a divisional game against a very good team.
Yep.
No matter how Dallas people don't want to talk about it,
right.
They're good. Were you happy with the overall performance of the Eagles for that game? Because, listen, the game could have changed very easily if Lamb makes that 2 catches with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, the one catch he definitely should have made the catch.
The one over the middle? He is running. He catches that. He's gone.
That was a focus drop. He lost focus. He was thinking about running ahead. The one drop on the sideline when he dove for the ball, I don't really count that as a drop. That was more of like he tried situation. But I do agree. If Lamb gets one of those touchdowns, it is a different game, is a different conversation. But the reason why I'm still positive is because, as Dominic Toretto said in Fast and the Furious, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
I'm like that too.
Yeah. Resilience matters in football more than any sport. You have to have the endurance, the ability to withstand what people are doing to you. And that's what the Eagles did on Thursday night, Mike Carlin.
It's a win. It's a win at home. It's a win against a division team and a good division team. So you're right. You take it, you move on. Are there things, like Jalen said after the game, are there things they have to work on? Absolutely. I think he would have said the same thing even if they would have won 28-10. He would have said there's things we got to work on. That's just how he is.
Yeah. Let's squeeze in one more text before we hit the break. 609-403-0973. Jeff from Ocean City says the Eagles are favored by 1.5 at Kansas City next week. The Chiefs don't scare me at all. By the way, the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana is rocky. I can't wait to come back again. Yeah, Jeff from Ocean City.
Jeff was here.
And
he's back in Ocean City all right. He's got shortcuts to get home, I guess.
He does.
I mean, it is Saturday, and there's still some traffic here.
But we appreciate Jeff from stopping by. Yeah, the Tropicana, the Gridiron Pit is the place to be. Table games right in front of these large screens. By the way, I actually know the person who ordered those screens, and they told me that Tropicana laid there was no cap on the spending.
Just make it right.
They said they want the best for their people who are coming down the Gridiron Pit. So we have the best big screen TVs you can find anywhere in Atlantic City, right here in the Gridiron Pit. Josh Hennig hanging out with you alongside Mike Carlin on 97.3 ESPN. Justin from Galloway, your text and more coming up on the other side. Eagles win on Thursday night. Phillies have won 6 of their last 8 games. And, of course,
taking 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, the best team in baseball.
And don't forget, it's a busy football weekend. All that and more here on 97.3 ESPN. And don't forget about my friends, just because we're at Tropicana Atlantic City, how about the way you can win some more rewards with Tropicana is with Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays here at Tropicana Atlantic City, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app. Use my promo code Radio20X. Place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on the next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet at 25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. More Eagles talk coming up next. And don't forget, come on down, hang out with us at the Gridiron Pit for your chance to win a hotel stay at Tropicana Atlantic City. And keep texting in at 609-403-0973 for your chance to win a Caesars Sportsbook hat. All that and more still to come. Josh Hennig and Mike Carlin hanging out with you at the Gridiron Pit, Tropicana Atlantic City on 97.3 ESPN.
Ryan Radke here from Sunday Night Football on Westwood One. Mike Golick and I are set to bring you Week 1 AFC action from Buffalo when the Bills host the Baltimore Ravens. Perennial MVP candidates Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson no doubt are looking to lead their teams to a season-opening statement win in prime time. Join us to find out which one comes out on top on Sunday Night Football.
Listen to Sunday Night Football. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. on 97.3 ESPN.
This football season, catch every game at the best sports bar in South Jersey. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern on Roosevelt Boulevard in Marmora features every Eagles game with the sound on, along with every NFL primetime matchup, as well as the biggest college football games every weekend. Don't miss out on yesterday's nightly food specials starting at 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, along with reverse happy hour specials 9 p.m. to close each week. Plus, yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora has all the Phillies games with the sound on the TVs for all of September and the can't-miss action of Red October. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora is the place to be this football season. So call your friends and catch all the games at the Y.
For 23 years, we've helped athletes at all levels at Clemic Performance Method, from youth to pros, increase maximum velocity, acceleration, vertical leaps, and general physical preparedness. We offer youth, high school, and pro college classes. Our proven results have earned national recognition from NFL coaches, sponsors, and a feature on ESPN Radio's Sports Science segment. You can contact me directly at 609-742-6190, or as always, visit us on our website, ClemicPerformanceMethod.com.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on Gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet at $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
This October, Scream returns. Join actor David Arquette for Behind the Scream, a live conversation at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City on Friday, October 10th. Hear behind-the-scenes stories from the legendary Scream franchise. Ask your burning questions and get up close with the man behind the mask. Tickets are on sale now at theoceanac.com. Don't miss your chance to go behind the Scream.
Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Yuri's Waterfront Restaurant. Phillies, Eagles, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday Night Football, college football, and the NFL ticket. Watch the games at Yuri's and enjoy 50-cent wings, half-price pizzas, $1 dogs, and $5 draft and can specials, plus other happy hour specials. If you love seafood, Yuri's has it, including all-you-can-eat crab. And of course, the beautiful sunsets are still free. Watch the game at Yuri's Waterfront Restaurant, next to the boathouse at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood.
Whether you're outside for work or just outside for fun, you need apparel and accessories that can keep up. At the Hub, you'll find it all. Lightweight shirts, cooling tees, shorts, hats, and boots, in sizes for men and women, including regular, big, and tall. The Hub has the brands you know and trust. Carhartt, Dickies, Timberland Pro, Wolverine, Wigwam, Levi's, and that's just the start. Need gear for the job site? They've got you covered. Looking for something comfortable for the weekend or the beach? They have that too. Stay cool with moisture-wicking fabrics, breathable button-ups, and lightweight work jackets for early mornings. The Hub is your summer destination for clothing that works as hard as you do. From rain gear to sun hats, steel-toe boots to casual sandals, they carry it all. Find the right fit, the right style, and the right price every time you shop.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
You blitz all night!
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here with Mike Carlin, and we are live at the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City here for Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. We have plenty of text still to get to. And, of course, don't forget, if you come down to the Gridiron Pit, you have a chance to win a stay at Tropicana Atlantic City. All you got to do is give us your name and your email. If you text in at 609-403-0973, you have a chance to win a Caesars Sportsbook hat. And don't forget, the Gridiron Pit is here, presented by Caesars Sportsbook and Tropicana Atlantic City. We are live in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios. You can see that we are in Tropicana Atlantic City on YouTube and X. Just follow at Josh Hennig, broadcasting live in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios. Mike, let's get back to the text board. People are popping off about the Eagles game at 609-403-0973. Justin from Galloway, I promise to get to your text next. Justin says, Josh, Dak is a weasel punk. I'm going to say that until the day I die. He baited Jalen Carter. Jalen does not need to take anything from him. He should have just grabbed his face mask, dragged him to the ground, rather than actually spitting back at him. But I appreciate the fact that Jalen is attempting to stick up for himself, even if he didn't do the right thing. Either way, he should not be suspended, like you said. So, Nick, back in the studio, the bottom line, where it's so Sal Paolantonio was on Mike Gill yesterday. And I thought Sal Paolantonio echoed what I have been saying about this situation. So here is ESPN. By the way, Sal Paolantonio was at the Lincoln Financial Field for 20 hours on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because he was there all day.
I saw it at 5:45 in the morning when I took a video.
He's nuts. But I appreciate it. Sal does a great job. And he had a very great insight about why Jalen Carter should not be suspended. Nick Earnshaw, go.
What I think they should do is try to reach him, have a come-to-Jesus moment with him, coaches in front office, and counsel him, because he's got to understand it's bigger than him. It's his family. It's his team. It's his legacy. Right now, his legacy, he spat on Dak Prescott on national TV and got ejected before the snap of the game in which the banner went up. He soiled that whole thing. He's got to realize just how bad it was and how it can't happen again. So, no, I am not in favor of a suspension by anybody. He was contrite enough. He was. And he was definitely a co-conspirator with Dak Prescott.
You know what no one's talking about, Josh?
What's that?
Still to this day, I've not heard anybody ask this question. What was he doing in the first place 2 feet away from their huddle?
Oh, well, that was explained after the game. So apparently Carter. So for those who don't remember, let's rewind rewind our memories back. So Ben Van Sumeren got injured on the first play of the game. He's out for the year.
Correct.
So their injury timeout. Both teams were on the field. Jalen Carter wandered over to the Cowboys huddle, and he was basically trying to troll and trash talk, get in the head of
my point.
The Cowboys offensive lineman.
He put himself in this position.
And so then that's when Dak claims he was spitting away from his offensive lineman, but he obviously was spitting in Carter's direction.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Dak spit. Carter said, "Are you spitting at me?" To which Dak, apparently, if you can read lips, he basically said, "I'm not bleeping spitting at you."
Correct.
And basically he got really indignant, and apparently that put Carter over the edge, and that's why he spit back. But as we know, in sports, the second guy always gets caught, not the first guy.
Right. Well, they're trying to say, I don't think Zach did anything wrong. And maybe I'm the outsider here. Okay. You're the one that came into their huddle. Maybe there'll be a new rule where after every play, you can't go across the line. There's no reason for you to be over there.
See, it's hard.
The rest of the team's all behind you. Why aren't you with them?
A lot of guys talk trash during the course of a game, and you don't want to cut back.
Feel free to talk all the trash you want on your side of the field, on your side of the line. There was no reason for him to be over the line.
So what you're saying is maybe like a referee or something should have stepped in and be like, all right,
absolutely,
back up.
Yeah, or get on your side. This is their huddle. What are you doing here?
Listen, it's a very fair point. The whole situation could have been avoided, although we don't know if Carter plays on the game. How different is that game play out?
Huge. Yeah, I don't think they go up and down the field like they do on the very first two.
Get some more text coming in at 609-403-0973. Bill in Cape May Courthouse chimes in, says, you're completely right about Jalen Hurts the third and fourth yard situations on the third and fourth downs. No one is going to stop us in those situations because we have so many options. We easily have 4 options on every single play. You know what, Bill? You're absolutely right, because it's the idea that the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, he can look at A.J. Brown and say, he's covered. Devontae Smith, he's covered. Dallas Goedert, where you at? Jahan Dotson, where you at? And by the way, part of the reason why you acquired John Mechie was because Dotson is going to be a free agent after this year. If Dotson says, listen, I'm tired of being the number 3 receiver, I want to go somewhere and be the number 2, number 1, Mechie can slide right in now. You drafted Johnny Wilson. He was unfortunately injured in the preseason. He'll be back next year. The Eagles are in a good spot. They're in a good spot when it comes to their offensive weapons. And I think that, maybe that's part of the reason why, if you're Philadelphia, you don't look at Hurts as, I don't need you to be Joe Burrow. We need you to run the offense. And I think that's the problem when we get in these conversations. Troy Aikman and Terry Bradshaw they're not in the Hall of Fame because they put up the most gaudy stats. They put up the stats when it was needed, and they were clutch. And I think that is where the variable is. The variable with all of this is, if you're a team like the Eagles, if you're a team that says to Jalen Hurts, I don't need you to throw for 400, 500 yards a game. I just need you not to lose us the game. And I think Jalen Hurts is very, very good at that. More text coming in. Andrew in Summers Point chimes in at 609-403-0973. Remember, everyone who texts in has a chance to win a Caesars Sportsbook hat. If you come down the Tropicana Atlantic City, we're in the Gridiron Pit. Leave us your name and your email. You have a chance to win an overnight stay at Tropicana Atlantic City. Andrew in Summers Point says, I'm totally over the Spitgate. All the shows talking about Jalen Carter. We have sports players who have made worse decisions, dogfighting, possession of firearms, drug use, etc. But Carball's a horrible person, ? And that's kind of what I was arguing about yesterday, Mike Carlin. And this is not a shot at Pete G, who was producing with Mike Gill on site yesterday on 97.3 ESPN. I was back in the studio. But Pete G multiple times brought up, with Jalen Carter's history, with Jalen Carter's background. I kept saying, what is his history? What is his background that makes him a bad guy? I'm so tired of this narrative that a guy who comes from a certain part of the country who's different than you is automatically bad because he's different, okay? I hate that mentality. Jalen Carter has never had a major legal issue. Street racing, auto racing down in the South is a huge part of the culture, okay? If you've ever been to Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, drag racing is like part of the culture. There's a reason why the cops, the state police down in Georgia and other states, you know what they have in their police cars, Mike Carlin?
Tell me.
They have NOS tanks. You know what a NOS tank is?
No.
A NOS tank is what street racers use to get away from the cops. The cops have literally put NOS tanks in there. And by the way, the state police of Georgia use Ford Mustang Shelbys. Okay? If you don't know cars, those are super high-end Mustangs. They are not peg leg. Those are all-wheel drive.
They're going to catch you.
Okay? They literally have cars that they say, listen, we already know you're going to drag race. But if you step out of line, we're coming for you. And those NOS tanks can take you from 80 to 150 in 2 seconds. Okay? That is nitrous oxide that police have in their tanks down there. So all these people try to act like Jalen Carter's a bad guy because he was drag racing. Listen, it was unfortunate that someone died, okay? But he didn't cause their death, number one. Number two, the incident in Target was a misunderstanding. If the Philadelphia Eagles, if they did not think that Jalen Carter was up and up, they would have got rid of him a long time ago. So as a result, Jalen Carter is not a bad guy. We got to stop acting like he's got a bad history. I'm so glad that Andrew Summers Point brought that up at 609-403-0973 the text board. Josh Hennig, Mike Carlin hanging out with you in the Gridiron Pit in Tropicana in Atlantic City. If you come down here, give us your name and your email. You have the opportunity to win a overnight stay here at Tropicana Atlantic City. We'll be announcing the winners later in the show. If you text into the text board, you also have the chance to win a Caesars Sportsbook hat. Our second prize is going to be a hoodie from Tropicana Atlantic City. So you either can win an overnight stay or a hoodie. All you got to do is leave us your name, your email, and you have the opportunity to win. But you must be present to win in order for us to get your name and your email. Now, back to the text board at 609-403-0973. Someone just texted in Dallas sucks. Thanks.
Hey, did you see Jerry after the game, how happy he was? And I was thinking about it. If you went to Jerry before that game and said, hey, listen, this is what's going to happen. Carter's not going to play the whole game. A.J. Brown's not even going to be targeted. He's going to catch his first catch with maybe a couple minutes left in the game.
Right.
And Hurts is going to run for more than Barkley in yards. Would you take that? Absolutely. If you doubt, you say, yeah, I'd take that.
I would also take it because people forget that early in the season, no one played in the preseason.
Right.
It's going to take you, 4 or 5 weeks for you to really get your off. Remember the Eagles last year? They were 2-2 at the bye after 4 weeks. Then they won 16 out of 17 after the bye week. This is a team that needs these few weeks to kind of get their feet
September
wet,
is their
get warmed up.
preseason.
Using the car analogy, right? We just talked about drag racing. Those old cars. I used to drive an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme 1983 when I was in high school, Mike Carlin. Okay, just to give you a reference.
Yes.
on what I also used to drive a 1994 Pontiac Grand Am GT until the head engine died. But anyway, but some of those cars, those older cars with the massive engines, it's not like the cars today we can just get up and go. You had to go out to the car, warm it up,
get it ready,
let the oil viscosity kind of get moving inside the engine because those cars were so old. So maybe the Eagles are like an old sports car, right? Maybe they are like, I don't know, one of those, Pontiac Firebirds from like 1981 or something, where you got to let them warm up, get them ramped up. You can't just hit the pedal and go. You're going to blow out the engine, right? Maybe the Eagles are a team that just needs to get warmed up, Mike Carlin.
Listen, I've said it before 2 weeks ago when we were at yesterday's. The Eagles are really good, Josh. I think everybody knows that. But I've always said, just like in baseball, don't talk to me about baseball until like the middle of July. Okay.
Right.
The NFL has gotten to the point where the first 2-3 games in September is still preseason because you're finally playing the guys on the field, not just for one set of downs kind of thing. But to come right out of the gate and play a divisional game against a team that could be fighting for you near the end and get a win at home was huge right out of the gate.
By the way, I just want to acknowledge Andrew in Summers Point texting in. I'm not going to say what he texted in just now, but I'm saying, Andrew, I totally understand what you're saying because I live there. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll explain to Mike Carlin during the break.
When we get a break, I can't wait to see this.
As we are live at Tropicana, the Gridiron Pit in Atlantic City. Josh Hennig along with Mike Carlin here on 97.3 ESPN, as we are so excited to be for the grand opening of the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana Atlantic City right here on 97.3 ESPN. Mike Carlin, tell the folks more about the Gridiron Pit.
Get ready to level up your game day at Tropicana Atlantic City. Introducing the Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch your net. Indulge in the tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel prizes. Every Saturday and Sunday throughout the football season, the Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table. Located near the cashier's cage. Learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And I believe they're going to have a special ribbon cutting ceremony coming up. What is it, September 14th?
September 14th at 3:30. And you'll be reading about it and see it in the social media. There's going to be 2 special guests that I'm not even allowed to tell you who they are, but they're extremely high special guests. You're going to want to be here for the ribbon. There's going to be plenty of giveaways, and there's going to be more prizes given away. But Sunday, September 14th, 3:30, the ribbon cutting for where we are, the Gridiron Pit at the Tropicana.
And just follow Tropicana AC on all social media platforms, Instagram and X. We are live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig as well, hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. More your thoughts and comments coming up on the other side. I see Jeff from Summers Point chiming in on the YouTube. We'll get to him. More your thoughts as well Josh Hennig, hanging out with Mike Carlin at the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana Atlantic City on 97.3 ESPN.
Sunday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL, the battle for the NFC East begins as we kick off the new season in our nation's capital. It's the Washington Commanders hosting the New York Giants. Hi, this is Chris Carino. Join Brian Baldinger and me for all the Week 1 action. Football is back. It's the sensational Jaden Daniels and the Commanders taking on Russell Wilson and the Giants. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
It's NFL Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 12:30.
Get ready to level up your game day at Tropicana Atlantic City. Introducing Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes. Every Saturday and Sunday throughout football season, Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table. Located near the cashier cage. Learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen up. The soap you shower with? It's you probably haven't even questioned what bar soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. We make our soaps with natural ingredients from the earth. Ingredients like oils, plants, goat's milk, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, shea butter, and citrus. Turn your shower game up to 11. Get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive.
Hey, this is Josh Hennig. Go to my social media and click my exclusive Dr. Squatch link for your chance to save $10 off your next order of great natural soap, deodorant, and much more. Only with Dr. Squatch.
Attention, Cumberland County businesses. Do you want to engage in valuable B2B networking? Do you want to showcase your business to the public? Do you need new employees? Then you need to join forces with the business community on Thursday, September 25th at the Cumberland County Business Expo and Job Fair. This event will be held from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Rowan College of South Jersey. Cumberland Campus Gym, 3322 College Drive, Island. Build sales, recognition, relationships, and your workforce. Hundreds of people are expected to attend. Sign up as an exhibitor or sponsor by September 19th to take advantage of this opportunity. Visit CumberlandExpo.com. This event is hosted by the Bridgeton, Millville, and Violin Chamber of Commerce, working together for a stronger Cumberland County economy. Co-sponsors of this event are the Authority, Rowan College, and Town Square Media. Showcase your business at the Cumberland County Business Expo. Register by September 19th for a lower fee at CumberlandExpo.com. The expo takes place at Rowan College of South Jersey, Cumberland Campus Gym in Violin on September 25th from 4 to 6:30 p.m.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Looking for the ultimate sports bar experience? Welcome to Ventnor Social, Down Beach's newest upscale sports bar. Watch every play on 27 big screen TVs with a state-of-the-art sound system that puts you right in the action. Grab a cold drink, savor American eats and fresh seafood, and don't miss their unbeatable lunch, happy hour, and dinner specials. Enjoy live music on the open-air deck, an arcade for the family downstairs, and video games that will level up your night. Ventnor Social on Ventnor Avenue. Visit their Facebook page for up-to-date info and specials.
Now that Labor Day's over, it's time to switch out summer outfits for new fall looks and head into the season in style. Shop Macy's today for the latest fall trends from top brands like ruffled skirts and barrel leg bottoms 25% off, and men's suits for every occasion from Tommy Hilfiger, Michael Kors, and more 50 to 75% off. Plus, find signature scents from Yves Saint Laurent, Valentino, and so many others. So hurry in now and refresh your fall wardrobe at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on Gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet at $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
People will come, Ray.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
People will most definitely come.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig hanging out with you at the Tropicana Atlantic City. The Gridiron Pit, the brand new Gridiron Pit is where we are at, myself and Mike Carlin, here on 97.3 ESPN. We'll get back to text in just a minute, 609-403-0970. But we are streaming live as well on YouTube and X. Just follow at Josh Hennig, and that's where Jeff in Summers Point chimes in. And I thought it was a very interesting point from Jeff in Summers Point. He says, if I could actually click on it, there we go. He says, imagine if we have chosen to take the ball instead of defer. There might have been no injury to Van Sumeren, no Jalen Carter ejection. By the way, great pickup by the Eagles with Darius Smith. Go Birds. That's from Jeff in Summers Point. And I think that's an interesting point as well, Carlin. You brought up the idea of Carter never walking over there.
Correct.
What if the Eagles said, we'll take the ball?
Yeah.
Carter's not even on the field.
Yeah. Nothing happens. And the guy that just is out for the season, he's fine.
I mean, that's a wild scenario as well, right? The idea that you could have just been like, oh.
Let's set the tone.
It changed the tone.
Yeah. Let's receive the ball and go right down the field.
That's a great point by Jeff in Summers Point. I didn't want to ignore that because I thought that was a great and interesting concept because you think about it, you're like, well, if they just would have taken the ball, Carter never gets kicked out of the game. I don't know, maybe you beat Dallas, instead of 24-20, maybe you beat them 30-14 or something. I don't know. Because, it's not like in the first half, as you mentioned, Carlin, both teams made adjustments in the second half and during the weather delay. The first half, both teams were having a lot of success offensively. So the Eagles could have gotten out to the lead instead of Dallas getting out to the lead, and then maybe the game plays out differently. It's a very interesting point.
Yeah, I just think that I think both teams you saw both teams what they are right out of the gate. And I liked seeing going up and down the field. I didn't like seeing how Dallas was going up and down those first two drives. But again, when you're done when you're without your best player, Josh.
Right.
Okay, no matter who wants to tell me any position you want, he is our best defensive player. He's the one that takes the double team and lets the other guys get into the quarterback or stop the run. That's how important you take him out. You saw what kind of team we are.
Jalen Carter was the second most double team player in the NFL last season.
Honey, I just called you honey. Did you like that, honey? So listen.
I'm not that cute.
Think about what he did at the end of the season. Think about his game against the Rams. Think about his game against Washington. They couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
And then at the Super Bowl. I mean, you could say he by far he was our best defensive player when the chips were in the casino, when the chips were really on the ground. He stepped up to play, and he is showing you what kind of player he is now, and it's going to be years down the road.
Another funny text coming in on the text board at 609-403-0973. Again, if you text in, you have a chance to win a Caesars Sportsbook hat. If you come down to the Trop, you have a chance, if you sign up with your name and your email, to win an overnight stay at Tropicana. Second prize is going to be a Tropicana hooded sweatshirt right here as we are at the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City. If you don't know where the Gridiron Pit is, first of all, if you're coming from the quarter, let's say you parked in the garage, you come to the casino floor like you're going to the sports book, but instead of making a right to the sports book, you follow, there's little signs on the ground, Mike Carlin, and it shows you how to get to the Gridiron Pit, and then you come around the corner, and you're going to see these massive screens, high definition with all the games on the TVs. That's where we are once a month at Tropicana in Atlantic City, right next door to Chickies and Pete's here at Tropicana. So it's very, very easy to find. But I thought this comment was interesting on the text board. He says, Jerry Jones was happy because it seemed as though his offense was efficient, but it was only efficient because they were running up the middle where Carter wasn't. That's a great point. Jerry Jones, I don't know if you saw the video, Mike Carlin, but after the game, Jerry Jones was like, oh, I'm very happy with how things went in this game. I was like, oh, I'm very impressed with how we played. And it's like, well, Jerry, you should be impressed because the Eagles lost their best player early in the game.
Yeah.
So it's remember, they got to a 14-7 lead early in the first quarter. From the second quarter on, Dallas only scored 6 more points. And you could argue if Brandon Aubrey was not their kicker, maybe they don't have 3 of those points. So at the end of the game, Dallas smartly took advantage of the Eagles being without their best player. And then the Eagles recalibrated, reset, and Vic Fangio said, enough of this, you know what? We're going to refocus. We're going to recharge our defense. And we are not going to let them, it's almost like the scene from Remember the Titans? We're not going to let them gain another yard, right? It was almost like Fangio went down to the locker room and said, they're not scoring another point the rest of the game.
Now.
This stops right here, right now. And the players were like, all right, coach, let's go. Because when you have a guy like Byron Young, who almost nobody knows, thrust into playing time because you're without Carter, because Jordan Davis already playing almost 90% of the snaps, Moro Jomo is not having a good game. You're thrusting guys in the lineup who weren't planning to be there. Remember, Ty Robinson with a healthy scratch for this game. So you were without one of your picks from the draft because they said, oh, we're not going to need him. Well, apparently you did. And at the end of the day, you got to give the guys who stepped up a lot of credit. Campbell had a very good game. Drew Makuba had multiple plays in the game, rookie safety. The Eagles defense was the reason why you had a chance to win a Super Bowl last year. It's probably going to be the reason why you have a chance to win again in 2025, Mike Carlin.
I think everything you said, Josh, is completely right. The only thing I would leave it with is just like Dallas now feels like they can beat us. Okay, Washington feels like it's going to be, our schedule is going to be, it's a tough schedule. And when people are saying, 12-5, I think that could be the numbers of 12-5. I think what you're going to see from Dallas is a lot of people were picking them to be last in the division. After what I just saw, I don't see how they can be last in the division.
I will address this one text, okay? Because we do have a negative Nancy who is saying the Eagles were fortunate to win. Stop it, Josh. He says, second half, the Eagles only scored 3 points. And Fangio, if Lamb catches the ball, the fumble doesn't happen. What's your speech now? Well, first of all, that's sports, okay? Yeah. I can legislate every single win of every single team and say, well, if this didn't happen, then maybe things are differently. Maybe if the Lions didn't have 14 injured starters on defense last year, maybe they're in the Super Bowl instead of the Eagles, okay? How about this? How about Lamb catch the ball? How about, if they didn't fumble? Well, who caused the fumble? Quinyon Mitchell, Jahad Campbell. They caused the fumble. So now you got to give the Eagles credit for getting the fumble. You have to give the Eagles credit for the defense doing the job. If you want to legislate every play of every game, anonymous texter, okay, then you just don't love sports.
I think what they're saying is that a lot of people are talking that it could have been a blowout and get out of hand. That game wasn't going to get out of hand. And most division games don't.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Eagles didn't win the game, okay?
Correct.
I mean, that's just, okay, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, anonymous texter.
Take the win and move on.
Winning is winning. More football talk on the other side. Josh Hennig along with Mike Carlin live at the Tropicana Atlantic City Gridiron Pit. Come on down and hang out with me on 97.3 ESPN.
Try this little experiment. Pull your shoulders back, sit up or stand up straight, and put a smile on your face. Recent studies reveal that our bodies and minds are far more intertwined than we once thought. So when we have a confident posture and cheerful expression, we can actually lift our mood. A self-assured person will walk with a straight back, eyes focused forward, and a little bit of swagger. Someone who's sad, unsure, or insecure will often have slouched shoulders, eyes facing downward, and a crouching posture. The scientific term for this is called embodiment. So the next time you feel a little down, pull your shoulders back, straighten up, and put a grin on your face and embody a better mood. I'm Robin Stoloff for Health Update. Hi, it's Robin Stoloff, excited to moderate the free NJ Healthy Aging Summit, Opioid Safety and Alternatives, September 26th at the Golden Nugget. Reserve your seat now at njhealthyaging.org. Sponsored by the Partnership for a Drug-Free New Jersey, paid for with funding from the Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Go to get your game on at the Fanatic Sportsbook in the Gallery at Ocean Casino Resort. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screens. Go where fans become fanatics at the Fanatic Sportsbook in the Gallery. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Go for the win. For more information, visit theoceanac.com.
Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Yuri's Waterfront Restaurant. Phillies, Eagles, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday Night Football, college football, and the NFL ticket. Watch the games at Yuri's and enjoy 50-cent wings, half-price pizzas, dollar dogs, and $5 draft and can specials, plus other happy hour specials. If you love seafood, Yuri's has it, including all-you-can-eat crab. And of course, the beautiful sunsets are still free. Watch the game at Yuri's Waterfront Restaurant, next to the boathouse at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station, serving all of South Jersey.
Finally! This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Yes, we are still here live at Tropicana Atlantic City at the Gridiron Pit. Just opened in 2025. We are here for the opening weekend of the NFL. Eagles won on Thursday night. Chargers won last night.
Big game last night.
College football on the big screen TVs in front of us here at Tropicana Atlantic City. Josh Hennig along with Mike Carlin. And of course, Nick Earnshaw back to the 97.3 ESPN studio. Coming up in about 25 minutes from now, Andy McNamara for our weekly fantasy football conversation here on 97.3 ESPN. And yes, if you give us your name and your email, you have a chance to win an overnight stay at Tropicana Atlantic City, but you must come down to the Gridiron Pit to sign up. The second prize is going to be the Tropicana hoodies we are giving away, so you can win an overnight stay at the Tropicana. You guys got to come down and sign up with your name and your email. If you can't make it down, you can win a Caesars Sportsbook hat by texting in during our conversation at 609-403-0973. Of course, that is the text board. We've been talking a lot of football to begin the show. And by the way, Mike Carlin, I got to bring this up because you and I kind of had a side bet last week. All right. Mr. Penn State over here.
Oh, here we go.
You said that Penn State was going to cover the 42 points last week. I told you they weren't.
How close was it, Josh?
Well,
but close doesn't count, right?
No, it doesn't, because Penn State had the game covered with a minute left, and Nevada drove down the field with 30 seconds. They scored. Jeez. Nevada covered. Penn State didn't.
But you were right today. Look, Josh.
Oh, I didn't get to that.
Today's over-under was 53.
I told you to go under.
Penn State playing another Division III school.
They're
I know it's a joke. It's
Come
a joke.
on.
Come on.
Rowan's a Division III
anytime
school.
you're win is minus 42 points to me. That's a whole nother
Well,
division.
you know what FIU is famous for right now? FIU is Florida International University.
Correct.
They're famous
Like Boca.
because their big donor is Pitbull.
Right, because he paid for the stadium.
He
rights.
paid millions
Yeah,
of
he
dollars
wants
to
his
put
name.
his name on the stadium. And then he sat there and it keeps giving them more and more booster money.
Who was their famous coach just a couple of years ago? Who made his mark when he got back in coaching?
Are you talking about Lane Kiffin?
Lane Kiffin.
Well, Lane Kiffin was at FAU.
You're right. I'm sorry.
He was
You're
Florida
right.
Atlantic. This is Florida International.
International.
Well,
correct.
there's like 2 million schools in Florida.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's easy to confuse. But yeah, FIU, not a good school. They're actually worse than Nevada. But I told you because of the weather up there at Penn State, they take the
We're
under.
in the middle of the second quarter. It's
still
7-0.
7-0. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, Mike Carlin, I'm just trying to help the people make some money over here, okay? There's a reason why I'm hitting at 63% of my picks every year in football. It's because I'm trying to help the people make some money. So you come down the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana Atlantic City. I gave you picks, and I try to help the people out. I mean, let's see what else I got on the pick sheet here from, by the way, Football Friday is streaming exclusively on YouTube and X, presented by Tropicana Atlantic City and Caesar Sports.
Now, are these just your picks, or like if I say the big game today, college, is Michigan at Oklahoma? It's the only two teams top 20 that are playing each other.
It's the only top 25 matchup. I have the under in that game, by the way.
The under, okay.
I have under 44.5 because as I was saying last night on YouTube and X, the Football Friday show exclusively on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig, presented by Caesar Sportsbook. I took the under 44.5 because you have two young quarterbacks.
Correct.
And now you're giving two teams with very good defensive coordinators. Brett Venables over at Oklahoma, Wink Martindale at Michigan. You're giving them tape on you. Now everyone knows what Underwood looks like at Michigan. Everyone knows what Mateer looks like from Oklahoma. You're giving ammunition to these great coaches. You know what great coaches do? They're going to shut you down, right?
That's why they're great coaches. They do their homework.
So, yes, that's the big game tonight. I do have a pick for you, Mike Carlin. It's under 44.5. So
there you go.
You ask and you shall receive.
Who's the I take it Oklahoma's the favorite on that at home?
Yeah, they're the betting favorite. Not by a ton. But it's one of those games where Oklahoma was a major disappointment last year, and Michigan's in a rebuild this year. So that's why the numbers are a little, shall we call them, a little skewed in that sense. By the way, really quick, I will mention, because Nick Earnshaw had a great interview at N. Earnshaw Radio on his YouTube channel with longtime odds maker and sportsbook operator Johnny Avello. And Johnny brought up a great point to Nick Earnshaw. He said, for sportsbook operators, the reason why it's hard for them to set lines for college sports is because there's so many variables they can't factor in every variable. And I thought Johnny made a great point to Nick Earnshaw. Again, at N. Earnshaw Radio on YouTube is where I saw the interview with Nick and Johnny Avello. Johnny brought up a great point saying, look, when there's so many variables, it's hard for the operator to factor everything in. And that's why for someone like me, it's actually easier for me. I hit on a higher rate on college football than NFL, Mike Carlin, because the variables will play into your favor. Okay. The odds makers will give you little hints. Shout out to the sportsbook consigliere, Dave Sherapan. We know he's recovering with his battle with cancer. Dave Strong, we love you, Sherapan. You're a great guy. But he has brought this up, and other people have brought up with the sharp guys, right? The sharp bettors, Mike Carlin. When there's a math problem, you got to look at why there's a math problem. If something doesn't add up, the team totals, the over-under, the spread. So with this Penn State FIU game, the reason why I told you before the game, the under is the play is because, first of all, there was a math problem. And two, we know that the weather is sloppy up there.
It is. Been raining all last night and up until 10 o'clock today. So that field, and they keep it covered, don't get me wrong, but 3 hours before the game, it was still raining and it wasn't covered. So that's a sloppy field.
Get some more text in just a bit at 609-403-0973. Of course, we are live at the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana in Atlantic City. We'll talk fantasy football with Andy McNamara coming up in about under 20 minutes from now. But I did want to hit on, back to the Eagles game and the Jalen Carter stuff. Okay. So if you want to win, you got to sign up. Right. But you have to sign up over here, sir. We have what we have, but you can win an overnight stay at Tropicana if you sign up. That's what we got. So, yeah, sorry. All right. Yeah,
It's good to be live.
Mike, I've been doing this now. I know it's hard to believe because of how my face, but I've been doing this media thing for 20 years now.
20 years.
It will never amaze me. And Nick, if you could pop on your mic back there in the 97.3 ESPN studio, because everyone listening on 97.3 ESPN, if you're watching on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig, you're probably extremely confused about what just happened. Okay, Nick, if you're back in the studio, okay.
I'm here. I'm cracking up back here. That was the funniest thing ever. By the way, I appreciate you talking about the Johnny Avello interview. That was a lot of fun.
I like the powder blue jersey.
Yeah, we got the Schwarber on today. We got the Philly tuxedo, Eagles hat. If you're watching on the X and YouTube channels, all over the place. Yeah, I got the Schwarber jersey on, powder blue, and the Kelly green. Two things Mike Gill can't stand, by the way. So that's why I wore them. But yeah, I see this guy coming up behind you. What was he trying to take something from you? What was going on back there?
Nick, he goes, hey, I don't want to sign. I just want to take it. I was like, well, you got to sign.
You got to win.
You got to sign
and then the best is he's literally looking at on the back to see how big it is. He goes, this isn't my size. I need a bigger. You have bigger ones? And we're like, buddy, this is what we got.
This is
Either
what we got.
sign or walk away.
Yeah.
Buddy, go play the slots right next to you, right behind you guys. Go win some money and go buy yourself one instead,
Nick,
all right? If you don't
you,
want to play.
Nick, I've been doing this for 20 years. It will never cease to amaze me. I'm wearing a headset. I have a 97.3 hat on. We have a table that says 97.3 ESPN. I have equipment that probably looks like I'm running NASA right now. Okay, but somebody wants to have a conversation with me in the middle of the broadcast. Like I remember, so years ago, and Dave Klemick, if he's listening, he'll probably be laughing about this, Nick. So when I used to call high school football games, there was nothing funnier than if you're in the middle of a game call, someone will walk up to the press box and try to talk to you.
Yes.
In the middle of, 1st and 10, let's say, I'm going to, okay. Set the stage.
Run it back. Reboot.
All right. Mustangs at the 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line here at the Mustang Corral at Mainland Regional High School. Sam Jackson steps back to pass. And then I pause because someone's trying to talk to me. As I'm calling the passing play, if anybody remembers Mainland Regional, Sam Jackson used to be their quarterback and their safety about 10 years ago. But it's like, and then Mike Gill will be at, we're right next door to Chickies and Pete's here at Tropicana. He's at Chickies and Pete's every week during the season for the Sports Bash here on 97.3 ESPN. Mike's in the middle of having a conversation with either you or Pete or whoever, or I'm talking to him back in the studio, and some random person comes up to him and says, table reservations, where's the bathroom? And Gill's like, well, what do you want me to do? I got a headset on. I can't hear you. Like, it never without fail.
You know what I'm going to let you do?
What are you going to let me do?
You can borrow my on-air sign. I have an on-air sign. I'm going to give you the on-air sign. That might help. That could help. Sometimes it helps.
Someone's going to want to be like, is this a prize? Yeah. That's what's going to happen. Someone's going to think the on-air sign is a prize because I've had that happen to me before. So a couple of years ago when we were here at Trop, we used to set up at the sports book.
Yep.
And my drink was on the table. Okay. I had a literal, like my energy drink over here. Okay. Someone came up and said, can I have this? And the look on Mike Carlin's face was he was perplexed. He was like, are you serious? I'm like, sir, that's my drink. He's like, can I have it? Yeah. And I'm like, no, you cannot have my drink. And it was open. It was half drunk.
Take a sip.
It was like this water.
No, be a good guy, Josh. Let him take a sip of it. He wants a sip, hey, why not? If you want an open drink, I mean, go ahead. Fine, sure. If you want a used drink and you want to drink out of someone else's drink, go ahead. Fine.
See how my drink is about half drank right now? Okay. Like someone literally came up to us and was like, can I have your drink? And I was just like, are you serious? Like the ladies who are standing here right now, they're very respectful. They're asking, what do you need from us for the contest?
And they have a chance to win an overnight stay.
Right.
Or we got sweatshirts to give away and stuff.
Yeah. So these ladies are very polite. I'll never understand the person who comes up to me and just wants to take my stuff. Yeah. I'll never understand that.
Listen, you know me, I'm a big merch guy, so I understand the want there. Okay. I love free stuff, love free merch. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand the want. We got to get you an intern to fight off these people, though. You know what I mean? They got to be able to throw hands a little bit, be like, throw some bows, and be like, all right, you got to sign up first. You can't just take. I'll start throwing bows.
Listen, man, you unless you're gonna, you got an intern up there at the community college.
I might have one for you. You never know. I might have one for you.
I'm just saying, Nick Earnshaw his day job is working at Camden Community College. He runs the radio station, the media program up there. I'm just saying, Nick, you're telling me I need an intern. You want to hook a brother up?
Just saying. I'm just saying. You say the word. We see what we can do.
We
have some talented students. We have some talented students over there. So, yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying. All right, Nick, thanks for popping.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
Josh Hennig and Mike Carlin back here at Tropicana Atlantic City, the Gridiron Pit, where you have a chance to win an overnight stay or a Tropicana sweatshirt. We just need your name and your email address if you come on down. If you text in at 609-403-0973, we will get you a chance to win a Caesars Sportsbook at a hat. I almost said app. My bad. Hat. Glenn and Absecon is the next text we want to get to you, Mike Carlin, as we got people listening on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank Seattle, as we are streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squash virtual studio at Josh Hennig. You can see where we are at in Tropicana. We're actually right next to Chickies and Pete's. We're across from the Caesars Sportsbook. It's very easy to find the Gridiron Pit. Listen, just follow the signs.
All these people piling in here to play.
Well, I mean, they're piling in because these huge, beautiful screens that they bought. These are brand new LED high-definition screens.
Yep.
You're not going to find screens like this everywhere in Atlantic City, Mike Carlin.
They have a great deal going for gambling. So if you hit a blackjack today,
yes,
in red, they have a wheel here that you spin.
Yes.
And some of these prizes are unbelievable. You get 4 tickets at an IMAX, $25 gift certificate at Tropicana.
IMAX is pretty sweet.
$100. $25 Chicken and Pete's, a free who night stay. I mean, this is the place to be. If you're a gambler and you like sports, you can get both at once.
Can I just say the IMAX here?
Something.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
And I'm a movie guy, Carl. I'm a big movie guy.
Those tickets aren't cheap. Those tickets go for like $23, $24.
So if you have a chance to win that,
come on down.
Come on down, folks, because I'm telling you, I'm a huge movie guy. I love going to movies. The IMAX here at Tropicana, it's actually the largest IMAX in New Jersey of any IMAX, and it's the original one. Tropicana actually had the IMAX first. Let's point that out, okay? They were the original. So I think it's a very beautiful prize you can have. You got to come down the Gridiron Pit here at Tropicana Atlantic City. But back to the text board. We'll be talking Eagles throughout the show. You're on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Glenn from Absecon chimes in. What's up, Glenn?
What's he say?
Glenn says Jalen Carter could have spit on someone at any point in the game, but it's because who he spit on. And the player was hurt on special teams. He engaged. It was not a hit to the knee. No one was hurt.
There was no reason to be there.
He says, you saw terrible sportsmanship and despicable human behavior from Carter and Dak Prescott. We saw a player get unlucky during a play, and both are sometimes just a part of sports.
So you know what's going to happen. I mean, they're all talking about suspension stuff. All that stuff will come out probably by Monday morning. But
first of all,
he was already suspended. He already sat out a game. It's going to come down to money.
Right. It's time served, number one. Yeah. Number two, as I said earlier, there have been several players who have spit on people over the years. They've never been suspended.
Yeah,
okay.
And you didn't see it. It wasn't.
Well, no, you saw it on television. Bill Romanowski spit on J.J. Stokes' face 30 years ago. I remember Cortland Finnegan. About 15 years ago, Cortland Finnegan, Andre Johnson had a huge fight in the middle of a game because Cortland Finnegan kept spitting on him in the middle of the game. And Andre Johnson was one of the most, calm, relaxed guys.
Imagine what happens when there's a fumble and you see 6 guys going after the ball.
Well, that's the thing. Mike Gill and Sal Palantonio said yesterday on 97.3 ESPN. They talked about how
this was obvious. This was all cameras were on you. There was, and I'm sure the spotter that does the camera, let's say there's 50 cameras on the stadium. Someone's in charge of the spotter to say 0 in an S. Someone had to see Carter coming out and saying, "Where's he going? Get a camera on this."
Well, the problem was that the video did not come out until later in the night of Dak spitting first. Someone had to have alerted them that, Dak spit first, because there was all kinds of reporting online that Dak was the first spitter and Carter was the second spitter.
You know how that happened? You know how quick that can happen? Okay. If you don't think Carter's agent was at that game and went up to him and said, why the hell did you do that? That he said, he spit on me first.
Yeah.
Then all the agent does is he sends it off to people within the network to say, hey, go back and look at the
or
camera.
just random media people.
Yeah, he spit on my player first. That's how fast it can happen.
And then NBC finally got the footage around 11 o'clock at night.
But if he's not there, it doesn't happen. No one's talking about that.
That's true.
Okay.
And listen, I just want to say again, I said it earlier in the show. Glenn from Absecon texting in at 609-403-0973. I understand that it's terrible sportsmanship and it's just, as you call it, despicable human behavior. But I will just say that for me, I just can't get that angry about it because we live in a world where there are people who have done much worse things. We live in a world where people have done evil, horrendous things, hurting women and children, right? You know, Tyreek Hill has beaten multiple women and he's still playing in the NFL, okay? I can't put spitting on someone on the same level as beating women, okay? I just can't. So, people can be all mad they want about this, but for me, spitting on another human being, it's deplorable, but there's degrees to this stuff, okay? I'm just going to say that before we wrap it up here because there's degrees to this stuff, and I'm not going to sit here and act like that, what Carter did wasn't bad, but let's pump the brakes on acting like he's the worst human of all time, okay? I've seen some bad human behavior. There's a great human coming up next, Andy McNamara. He will join us for a fantasy football conversation as we are live at the Tropicana Atlantic City's Gridiron Pit at Tropicana Atlantic City, right next to Chickies and Pete's, right across from the sportsbook. And speaking of the sportsbook, Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action, earn perks on every game, like hotel stays right here at Tropicana Atlantic City, along with bonus bets, game tickets, and more. So download the Caesars Sportsbook app. Use my promo code Radio20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for your chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open the new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet at $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promo for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hanging with Hennig, 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. Andy McNamara, Fantasy Football Talk, next.
Hey, South Jersey, this is Billy Schwan. Tune into The Locker Room every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN. Each weekend in The Locker Room, you will get passionate sports talk from a fan's perspective, along with interviews with some of the biggest names in sports. That's every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon in The Locker Room with me, Billy Schwein, on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner.
This football season, catch every game at the best sports bar in South Jersey. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern on Roosevelt Boulevard in Marmora features every Eagles game with the sound on, along with every NFL primetime matchup, as well as the biggest college football games every weekend. Don't miss out on yesterday's nightly food specials starting at 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, along with reverse happy hour specials 9 p.m. to close each week. Plus, yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora has all the Phillies games with the sound on the TVs for all of September and the can't-miss action of Red October. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora is the place to be this football season. So call your friends and catch all the games at the Y.
Listen up. The soap you shower with? It's you probably haven't even questioned what bar of soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. We make our soaps with natural ingredients from the earth. Ingredients like oils, plants, goat's milk, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, shea butter, and citrus. Turn your shower game up to 11. get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive.
Hey, this is Josh Hennig. Go to my social media and click my exclusive Dr. Squatch link for your chance to save $10 off your next order of great natural soap, deodorant, and much more. Only with Dr. Squatch.
Whether you're outside for work or just outside for fun, you need apparel and accessories that can keep up. At the Hub, you'll find it all. Lightweight shirts, cooling tees, shorts, hats, and boots in sizes for men and women, including regular, big, and tall. The Hub has the brands you know and trust. Carhartt, Dickies, Timberland Pro, Wolverine, Wigwam, Levi's, and that's just the start. Need gear for the job site? They've got you covered. Looking for something comfortable for the weekend or the beach? They have that too. Stay cool with moisture-wicking fabrics, breathable button-ups, and lightweight work jackets for early mornings. The Hub is your summer destination for clothing that works as hard as you do. From rain gear to sun hats, steel-toe boots to casual sandals, they carry it all. Find the right fit, the right style, and the right price every time you shop.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Go where the players go. Come join us all season for Eagles pep rallies, watch parties, and the best in-game experience anywhere. Ice cold draft beer, world famous food, and fan-friendly fun for every Eagles game. Every Monday night in South Philly, the Jordan Mailata Show, presented by Miller Lite, followed by Chicky and Pete's Players Lounge with a current player, hosted by Ike Reese and Hugh Douglas. Go where the players go. Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Do you have a large party of 10, 20, even 50 people? We can't wait to treat you like family at Chicky and Pete's. Forget about deposits or credit card reservations. Making a reservation for your large group is effortless at Chickies and Pete's. Lots of options to celebrate and make your night out unforgettable. Order off the menu or select from food and drink packages. Private party rooms available. Make your reservations right now at chickiesandpete's.com. And don't forget, Chicky and Pete's gift cards are the perfect fit for any occasion. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on Gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet at $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by.
Star-Lord.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig hanging out with you here on 97.3 ESPN, broadcasting live for the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City. Of course, if you come down to the Gridiron Pit today, you have an opportunity to win an overnight stay at Tropicana Atlantic City. Our second prize is going to be Tropicana hoodies. All you got to do is put your name and your email on the sign-up sheet, and we'll be announcing the winner later in the show. Right now, as promised, we'll get back to text board a little bit later at 609-403-0973. But as promised, joining me right now for fantasy football conversation. My guy, Andy McNamara, is back with me on 97.3 ESPN. Andy, welcome in. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm in the brand new Gridiron Pit here at Tropicana Atlantic City. It's a really cool place. You know, obviously you can't see the screens because the screens are across from me and we can't put actual games on the YouTube stream, but you know, legal issues. But still, we're, as always, we have our fantasy football conversations each week. So let's get into, first of all, what happened the last 2 days before we get into what happens on Sunday. For you, looking at last night's game, Chiefs and Chargers, right? Herbert and Mahomes both have pretty good games in fantasy football, but are those performances things that people can expect to keep getting from them? Because, for example, someone like me, I got Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray on my fantasy teams. On another team, I have Herbert and Mahomes. So for someone like me, you know, there's variables that go into this, right? So, like, what we saw last night, do you anticipate that happening long term?
It's tricky in a sense because it was at a neutral site. It was in Brazil. We know those games can kind of be weird, right? And I would feel more comfortable with a body of work after week 2 or 3. However, we don't have that luxury in fantasy football, so we have to project, right? Now, what I was surprised with, let's look at the Chargers first of all. I was very surprised that they did not go more run heavy,
right?
As was sort of the game plan and MO from Harbaugh coming into the year and really sort of his MO throughout his coaching career in the pros. Justin Herbert balled out, man. Like, that was holy cow. 131.7 QB rating, 25 of 34, 3 touchdowns, running like a beast. Like, he was on fire against a good Chiefs defense too. So does that pass heavy equate? Is Marion Hampton got 15 carries? I want to see that go up primarily, Josh, because I am heavily invested in O'Marion Hampton. I'm in 4 leagues and I got him in all 4. I need me some Hampton. All right. Need me. I need him. Little, you know, under 10 fantasy points. I was a bit underwhelmed, but a little underwhelmed. But however, I made up the difference on the Javonte Williams in a couple of those leagues for the Dallas Cowboys on the Thursday. So I'm hoping that balances out.
We will get into Thursday as well, because I had 2 specific questions for you about the Eagles-Cowboys game. One being the way you saw both the Cowboys and the Eagles defenses play. Are you starting to maybe say, for fantasy football purposes, hey guys, keep those defenses in mind as you start playing? Maybe like, you know, people like me, we don't keep a ton of defenses in all of our leagues, right? So we got to switch them out week in and week out, right? Are the Eagles and Cowboys maybe leaning into that category for you, Andy McNamara, to say, hey, the right matchup, you want those defenses out there?
I don't want the Cowboys defense out there because I think that Micah Parsons factor is going to keep coming up.
So really quick, so you think what we saw Thursday night was a Fugazi?
I do. I think it was a bit of a first week, you know, Super Bowl, getting the banner going up and Philly and all that good stuff. I just don't really see how that Cowboys defense, now, depending on matchup, right? If you have a stinker team coming in there playing, it's not that you can never use them.
Right.
But my question is, where's the weapon, right? And also with Jalen Carter being out for the Eagles in that game because of the stupidest spit. Like, why are you spitting gum, period? And then why are you doing it when the referee's looking at you? Insane. I was screaming. I got the Eagles defense into him. Like, well, what's going on? Gonna be 3 fantasy points. Unacceptable, Jalen Carter. I'll fine you too. Good Lord. It's crazy. But I think the Eagles defense is one you can feel much more comfortable with as long as Jalen Carter keeps his gum in his mouth going forward than the Cowboys one, which I think we're gonna start seeing some pain coming out of that eventually.
Because I was saying before you came on, Andy McNamara joins us each week for Fantasy Football Conversation here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. When you look at, you know, what we saw on Thursday night, I said Vic Fangio deserves a ton of credit. I mean, that guy said, I lost my best player. We just allowed 14 points. It was almost like the scene for Remember the Titans. We're not going to gain another yard. So they went to halftime and said, they're not scoring again. And they scored 0 points in the second half to the Cowboys. So it's like, look at the Eagles defense. Like, we talked so much about, they lost Josh Sweat. They lost Milton Williams. They lost Slay and Isaiah Rodgers. And it's like, Well, they still got Fangio because apparently he said I lost one of the best players in football on defense. And I said, we're fine. We'll figure it out. Like, how amazing is that? Like, there's a part of, like, if you're a fan of, like, for example, you're a Browns fan, for example, like, there's always a part of other fan bases probably that's like, why can't we have that guy?
Yeah, right. And the thing is, too, it's not like Jalen Carter was out injured and he had time to prepare for that. That's a different story. That was on the spot.
Yep.
Blew everybody. Like, what is happening? And you got to adjust on the fly.
Yep.
And you do that job. Masterful work by Vic Fangio. Absolutely. He deserves a ton of credit. And when Carter gets back and hopefully smartens up the rest of the way, that defense, that defense has the marking man to be something real special.
All right, so let's get to the rest of the fantasy football because obviously the big news for those who didn't see it today, if you're a fantasy football player, if you're a Browns fan, if you're an AFC North fan, Junkins is finally signed.
Hallelujah.
So talk about the fantasy football implications because, Andy, how many times have you and I talked about over the year? We've been doing this now for 6 years here on 97.3 ESPN, okay? We look great for our age, by the way.
We sure do.
It's one of those deals where, I feel like there's a Ric Flair joke thrown in there, but I'm not fast enough. We need the no context Ric Flair account to like throw something in there. But
yes.
It's my point is that it's the idea that how many times have we talked about running back is the hardest position. Mm-hmm. It's the hardest position to get a good gauge on, right? And if you are a fantasy football player, is Judkins maybe the answer for someone's team right now?
I will say, I believe yes, with the caveat of we still have some questions to be answered. First of all, if you picked him up in any drafts, I was unable to personally. I wanted to get him later, went a little sooner. He will not be playing Sunday against Cincinnati. So if you got Judkins, you hear the news, do not put him in the lineup. He's not getting in. The other part of it is, okay, he signed fully guaranteed 4-year rookie deal, but the NFL is still doing their investigation.
Right.
We don't know if a suspension is coming, and if it is, for how much. Now, he was cleared of all the legal issues. Sometimes that doesn't matter to the NFL, right? It's totally up to Roger Goodell, Judge Goodell, to do it. So if you got him, you got to be feeling good. We just don't know when we're going to use him. It definitely won't be week 1, and depending when it comes down. Now, if it comes down suspension, 4 games or something, well, nice, fresh, hot rookie who's going to be coming in after the first month of the season. So it's potentially fantastic news. We just still have some questions.
By the way, was he fresh? Look at these hats that we're giving away.
Oh, I want one of those. Sharp.
Yeah, those who are wondering.
I got to get down. We got to do a live remote, man. You guys get too much fun stuff going on. Live draft party. You're at restaurants. Your Caesars there, all that. Oh, we need to do it. I'm going to figure out a way.
All right, so let's get to the rest of the fantasy football slate. Speaking of running backs, the other big news that came out yesterday. So Christian McCaffrey didn't practice. Now, McCaffrey was interesting because he went to the media on Friday, right? Yesterday, It was like around maybe like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock Eastern time. He's meeting with the media, and he's like, well, when you're a player with my history, people get a little suspicious. But I'm fine. I'm going to be good. Even though he didn't practice, and the 49ers listing with a calf issue, are you concerned if you're a Christian McCaffrey owner?
Oh, absolutely I am. And that's why his stock dropped, and he might have, depending on the injuries this year, might have still been overdrafted in fantasy drafts, right? We know when that guy's 100% and popping, still one of the best in the game. Problem is, it is getting less and less often that he's 100%, which is why that Brian Robinson deal, acquiring him from Washington that San Francisco did, is so vital. So is he going to play or not? Sounds like it's going to come down to a game time decision potentially. But if I'm a McCaffrey fan, you're watching that, or a McCaffrey owner, you're watching that right up to that timeline. And if you're a Brian Robinson owner, you better be doing the same thing, because if he isn't, you got to really gauge it. Because remember, Kyle Shanahan can be weird and hate your fantasy team. Let's not forget that. Remember, who was the guy? Oh, I forget who it was a couple years ago. Some guy you never heard of. He brings it from the practice roster, runs for like 150, and the guy, the backup, didn't get anything. So weird. I'm looking at the depth chart. You got McCaffrey, Brian Robinson Jr., Isaac Guerendo, who had a pop, and Jordan James, who's doubtful. So, like, it could be Guerendo, but you just got to track that situation. But I'd be very nervous. It is a bad start to the year for Christian McCaffrey. That is for sure. So if you're an owner, you might want to maybe start hitting the trade block a little bit, looking at waiver wire, getting some handcuffs, and trying to prep yourself a little bit.
Weekly fantasy football conversation with Andy McNamara, hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig at 97.3 ESPN. We are live in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. We are in person at the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City. Speaking of Sunday, Andy, I am very curious to see the Vikings-Bears game this weekend, because you could argue that game is going to tell us a ton, because J.J. McCarthy, not a lot of great praise about him coming out of camp. But you know what? They got his boy Adam Thielen. Him and Thielen worked out this offseason together. We know that Brian Flores, great defensive coordinator. Is Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams going to be able to handle the Brian Flores pressure? So, Andy, I want to know from you, how are you gauging for fantasy football owners the Bears and Vikings game?
Monday Night Football, I'm totally with you. This is fascinating because of all the things you outlined. Let's start with the Bears. And you look at what was the problem last year? Terrible offensive line. They put a lot of resources into that. You drafted Luther Burden III. You have DJ Moore. You got a Dunze. You have the pieces. You drafted Loveland as well to go along Cole Kmet. The problem with me with the Bears-wise, fantasy-wise, outside of DeAndre Swift, who I got in one of my leagues, maybe two, is that seems to be the lead back. Not your traditional, workhorse, but that seems to be the safest fantasy bet. Everybody else, Josh, we don't know what the mouth feeding is going to be like, right? Like Kmet used to be the guy. Well, Loveland's in there. Are they going to cannibalize each other at tight end? Maybe. What does it look like at wide receiver? Who's getting the ball? That's going to take some time to figure out. I am personally not a Caleb Williams believer. We talked about it before the last draft when it was Jane Daniels, and I was screaming that why would you not take Jane Daniels? He's far more complete, proved right with the Rookie of the Year. So you look at the Bears, then the Vikings, and I'll tell you this, I am not a J.J. McCarthy guy. I wasn't when he came out. Am I a Michigan hater because I'm a Buckeyes fan? Absolutely. I'll just put that out there, but I don't believe in the guy. I've said on your airwaves and mine, he's Mac Jones with better hair. I don't see any elite traits. I don't see any reason why people are crowning this guy after coming off an injury. You got Justin Jefferson, who should just get the ball. I think it brings down potentially everybody in the fantasy world from the Minnesota Vikings because of J.J. McCarthy. It's a system-based offense, we know. Made Sam Darnold work, so maybe you can do the same for J.J. But you're right. That game is going to give us our first peek. What should we be expecting in the fantasy football world?
It's a great question, and I think that's where you mentioned Darnold. I look at the 49ers game versus San Francisco. I think San Francisco is going to win that game, by the way. I think San Francisco is going to kick their rear in that game because I think Seattle this is a rebuild for them. You don't trade away DK Metcalf and get better, right? That's not how this thing works.
Yeah.
So before I let you go, the other game I wanted to hit on with you that I'm very curious about, because when we did the football show last night, streaming live each Friday night here on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, the Tropicana Atlantic City, which is where we are at today for the Gridiron Pit opening weekend of football season. Bengals, Browns. I know this is a game you're going to be very focused on. Now, I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I don't think there's going to be a ton of defense in this game. Talk about the fantasy football implications, because people know about Burrow, right? They know about Jamar Chase.
Sure.
But Mr. I Host the Sick podcast, talk about the Flacco, the Judy, and Njoku connection. Could that be a sleeper in fantasy football this year?
A sleeper stack, absolutely. Throw in Jerry Judy as well to that group. And this is, I'm with you. If I'm putting a couple bucks down, I'm going to take the over 47.5, and I'm taking the Browns to cover at home that 5.5. Remember, too, Joe Burrow has been sacked the most by the Browns. No team has sacked him more, namely Myles Garrett, who's on Joe Burrow. And Burrow has admitted, he's like, that's the problem. Now, the issue is Jim Schwartz has his best defensive line in his tenure with the Browns right now with 5th overall pick Mason Graham. You got Malik Collins beside him. You got a nice rotation on the other side of Myles Garrett. Right. That front four with Carson Schlesinger at linebacker, the rookie who's been wowing everyone, is going to be a problem. So the question is going to be the Browns safety group, which is an issue. Can Burrow get the ball out deep enough and fast enough to take advantage of that? That's where it is. But the heat is going to be coming. I'm picking the Browns to win. The Burrow, Flacco, like if for whatever reason, now it's the start of the year, you should have a decent quarterback. But if you're looking for a streamer, you're playing DFS, you can do worse with Joe Flacco this week, man, because I'm with you, Josh. I think Joe Flacco is going to put up some big fantasy points. David Njoku must start. Jerry Jeudy must start. And the backfield right now without Judkins is going to be a schmoz between Jerome Ford, Dylan Sampson. I got an anytime touchdown bet for you too. Raheem Rocket is his nickname. Sanders. He's their big back. If they get at the goal line, anytime touchdown. I don't know what the numbers are saying on it, but no one's talking about it. Sanders, anytime touchdown. And I'm not talking about Shador. I'm talking about Raheem to get you there.
At AndyMC81 on the Twitter X platform, at AndyMC Sports on Instagram. The Sick Podcast. Like, subscribe, download wherever you get your podcasts. Andy, am I forgetting anything? Plug it. Go.
Yeah, well, it's going to be live show, 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, Sunday, on YouTube, The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara at Sick Pod Browns on X as well. And we're going to be going over fantasy football start sits. We're going to be taking your questions, get them in on X at AndyMC81 at Sick Pod Browns. Use hashtag Ask Andy. Come live. We answer all those questions. Browns, Bengals preview, parlay party, best bet's going to be a ton of fun, 10 a.m. Eastern. And of course, I'm wearing the Railbirds hat. Big day of horse racing today across North America. Horse Racing World Championship winning, you're in, as well as a bunch of other big money stakes races. So we got the picks. If you want to bet on the horses, at My Railbirds on all socials.
By the way, really quick, some breaking news. Bad news for Ollie Gordon owners.
Oh, no.
The Dolphins have elevated Jeff Wilson from the practice squad. So you talk about how Kyle Shanahan muddies the waters. Mike McDaniel is muddying the waters in Miami at running back.
Oh, that's disappointing. I'm not starting Ollie this week, but I got him on the bench. That guy deserves some chances. And I'll go to the old Seinfeld clip where it's the Kramer's getting the chicken, and Jerry goes, "That's not good for business." And the guy says, "That's not good for anybody." Right. We don't want Jeff Wilson. I want me some Ollie. That's breaking news. We'll see. Maybe keep Ollie on the bench this week.
Andy, appreciate you jumping on today.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Josh Hennig live at the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City. This is where you want to level up your game day. Tropicana Atlantic City introduces the Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes every Saturday and Sunday throughout the football season. Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table, located near the cashier's cage. Learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older to play. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hanging with Hennig, 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City, and streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
Sunday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. The hunt for Super Bowl 60 starts now, and two hopefuls collide in the NFC North. It's the Green Bay Packers hosting the Detroit Lions. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Bill Rosinski, Steve Berline, and myself for all the action as Micah Parsons and the new-look Packers look to send a Week 1 message. But the defending NFC North champs, Jared Goff and the Lions, stand in their way. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 4:30.
Get ready to level up your game day at Tropicana Atlantic City. Introducing Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes every Saturday and Sunday throughout football season. Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table. Located near the cashier cage. Learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For 23 years, we've helped athletes at all levels at Clemic Performance Method, from youth to pros, increase maximum velocity, acceleration, vertical leaps, and general physical preparedness. We offer youth, high school, and pro college classes. Our proven results have earned national recognition from NFL coaches, sponsors, and a feature on ESPN Radio's Sports Science segment. You can contact me directly at 609-742-6190, or as always, visit us on our website, ClemicPerformanceMethod.com.
Looking for the ultimate sports bar experience? Welcome to Ventnor Social, Down Beach's newest upscale sports bar. Watch every play on 27 big screen TVs with a state-of-the-art sound system that puts you right in the action. Grab a cold drink, savor American eats and fresh seafood, and don't miss their unbeatable lunch, happy hour, and dinner specials. Enjoy live music on the open-air deck, an arcade for the family downstairs, and video games that will level up your night. Ventnor Social on Ventnor Avenue. Visit their Facebook page for up-to-date info and specials.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Get Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like Whirlpool that can keep up with your busy routine. Whirlpool refrigerators from the Home Depot have the storage and ice capacity for everything from school lunches to stocking coolers for sports practice. Celebrate Labor Day with savings on select appliances at the Home Depot. Offer valid August 21st through September 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Who is right? You are an ox and a moron.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Hello? Get back in the room.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here at the Gridiron Pit here at Tropicana Atlantic City on 97.3 ESPN. Joining us as a special guest right now here on Science. We are at the opening weekend for the Pit, that being Chris Downey. Chris Downey's joining us as Chris. I was telling you off the break. I mean, listen, I get it. We got all these great table games. We have tailgate style menu. We have the big wheel to win prizes. But Chris, these TVs.
Oh,
this is amazing.
This is just an incredible setup we have over here. You know, this has always been the property for excitement, and we really saw an opportunity to really up our game with regards to how we present for the football season. So, you know, going throughout the entire season, we're gonna do this every Saturday and Sunday from noon till 8. You know, come down to the Gridiron Pit. We have blackjack going. We have games going. Every red zone blackjack, which is every red blackjack, every combination of diamonds, hearts. For blackjack, you get to spin the wheel for some great prizes. We've got some gift certificates and some comps to our hotel, to some restaurants, Chickies and Pete's, Hat Emporium, Step Up, all of our great our great tenants here that are helping out with everything. So, you know, it's really a lot of excitement and you know, something that we really have pushed hard to get this thing done. And I'll tell you what, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing here in front of me.
Well, I think you should be happy because it's just such a beautiful setup. It's such a cool concept to say, hey, if you like the table games, right? You know, you want to play blackjack and you want to watch the game. You got it right
at the same time.
Yeah, right. You got it right here at Tropicana Atlantic City. That's a huge deal to be able to tell people you don't have to pick one or the other.
Right. I mean, that's we always have had TVs out in the pits, but it's really not conducive to people that really want to get into the game and at the same time, play some blackjack. So, we've got, some great amenities over our sports book. People are welcome to come over here from there. Like I said, we will always have a game going. So, please stop by.
And Chris, you know what else is great? Like at your sports book, you can bet right there. But literally a 10-second walk right behind your table, you have a kiosk to bet.
That's right.
You have a Caesars sports book right there.
That's right.
Everything is right here once you get here, whether it's food-wise, gambling-wise, to sports on the TVs. I mean, what I was telling John, this is the place to be in Atlantic City because no one else has this.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, before I forget, we're going to do our grand opening for this on the 14th at 3:30 in the afternoon. We're going to do a nice ribbon cutting, and we may have some surprise guests there. So anybody who shows up, we're looking to really juice things up. This is Eagles country, so anytime we have Eagles games, we'll definitely be looking to do something special here.
Chris Downey joining us from Tropicana as we are the opening weekend for the Gridiron Pit here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Now, that big wheel of prizes, I want to know from you, do you have a favorite prize that is on that wheel?
Well, I'm the gaming guy, so I mean, I like the $100 promotional chip. So
Okay.
it's that's my favorite. But we've got a lot of stuff on there. Like I said, we've got room comps, we've got some Tropicana swag. We've got
restaurants,
we've got
IMAX.
restaurant comps, IMAX tickets.
See, that's my favorite. Because first of all, I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
But second of all, I always tell people don't understand the first IMAX in this region was in Tropicana. And so you're not just getting a movie, you're getting an experience when you go to an IMAX movie.
The feel of it's unbelievable.
Hey, it's the only IMAX on the island. So I mean, the only IMAX in Atlantic City, the only movie theater in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really an experience going out there.
And I always tell people, to me, if you haven't seen an IMAX movie in Tropicana, you're missing out. Because, like, for example, that Superman movie, and that came out 2 months ago, that was incredible on the IMAX screen. That was like being in the movie.
It's phenomenal. I bring my kids in here. Any decent movie that comes out that they want to see, I insist we come and see it here.
Chris, before we let you go, we appreciate you sitting down with us here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. If there is something that people need to know about the Gridiron Pit that we haven't talked about yet, tell us what it is.
Well, look, the Gridiron Pit, like you said, it's like nothing else that's out there in town right now. So, I mean, it really is an experience. It's really something everyone should come down and check out. I promise you, if you come down and check it out, you're going to want to come back every single week.
Now, you're an Eagles fan, I heard.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about the game a little bit. Tell me what you liked and what you didn't like, real quick.
Well, I'll tell you what. I thought the start was a little bit disappointing before the first snap. We had one guy hurt and a huge ejection, and I think that really kind of set the stage. I was not really thrilled with how the defense played, at least not in the first half. Unfortunately, I fell asleep after the.
You weren't the other one.
After the intermission, I fell asleep. But for the first half, I really was not thrilled with how the defense played. I thought the offense was phenomenal.
And we take a win. A big division
a win over Dallas, which,
correct.
there's no win sweeter than that for an Eagles fan.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate you and all the people at Tropicana having us. We'll be here once a month at the Gridiron Pit all football season long here in Atlantic City. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. Of course, we are live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Swatch virtual studio. Coming up the other side, more Eagles conversation as we head into a busy football weekend. And of course, don't forget, you can come down here to watch all the games, all the college football on Saturday, all the football tomorrow, right here at the Gridiron Pit, Tropicana in Atlantic City. Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press, NFL Insider, will join us coming up in about 30 minutes from now. All that and more still to come. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. And don't forget, you can watch the show on YouTube and X in the Dr. Swatch virtual studio.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on Gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet at $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for a new career? Want to learn more about area businesses and shopping local? Then visit the free Cumberland County Business Expo and Job Fair Thursday, September 25th. More than 100 area businesses and organizations will be on hand to discuss their products, services, and special offers. Some will tell you about job positions they're filling. Stop by and you'll be entered into a free drawing for great prizes, including gift cards and lottery tickets. These prizes are sponsored by South Jersey Water Conditioning Service. Enjoy food trucks, exhibitor giveaways, and much more. Free admission from 4 to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 25th at the Rowan College of South Jersey, Cumberland Campus Gym, 3322 College Drive, Vineland. This event is hosted by the Bridgeton, Millville, and Vineland Chamber of Commerce, working together for a stronger Cumberland County economy. Co-sponsors of this event are The Authority, Rowan College, and Town Square Media.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Whether you're outside for work or just outside for fun, you need apparel and accessories that can keep up. At the Hub, you'll find it all. Lightweight shirts, cooling tees, shorts, hats, and boots, in sizes for men and women, including regular, big, and tall. The Hub has the brands you know and trust. Carhartt, Dickies, Timberland Pro, Wolverine, Wigwam, Levi's, and that's just the start. Need gear for the job site? They've got you covered. Looking for something comfortable for the weekend or the beach? They have that too. Stay cool with moisture-wicking fabrics, breathable button-ups, and lightweight work jackets for early mornings. The Hub is your summer destination for clothing that works as hard as you do. From rain gear to sun hats, steel-toe boots to casual sandals, they carry it all. Find the right fit, the right style, and the right price every time you shop.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him, it's a sack!
Sixers.
Oh, baby!
And Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Finally!
This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Hour 3 of Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. Streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Swatch virtual studio. And of course, one of those deals where when you think about where we are, we're at the Gridiron Pit, Tropicana, Atlantic City. I mean, it feels like football season. because we are here in Mike Carlin, right?
People walking around, they're gambling.
I mean, this is such a cool spot. I mean,
this is going to take off. Certain things you just know are going to take off. This is going to take off. It's just a matter of time. They just got to get the word out.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the place to be, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday. If you're an NFL fan, if you're a college fan, and you're a gambler, this is your world.
I mean, when you think about where football season, this feels like football season, right? Being in an environment like this, it just screams football, does it not? Here at the Gridiron Pit. I mean, college football on the big screens. The NFL will be on these screens tomorrow. I mean, I can't think of a better place to sit down and watch the games, maybe play some table games. And, you don't have to be here to play the table games. On one side is the games.
Look at all these.
There's high top tables. Yeah. You can order food from Chickies and Pete's or wherever else on the property. You can bring it over here. It's just a great spot if you are someone who loves football, wants to be in the middle of the action in Atlantic City. Tropicana Atlantic City is the place to be, Mike Carlin.
I concur. It's not too much to say after that. I mean, it's what I tell people. This is one of those places. It's like going to a fine restaurant that you find, and you want to just come back to all the time. You come and try this out at Tropicana once, you're going to come back.
So just to remind everybody, reset. So we got Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press. Rob is going to join us coming up in about, roughly 20 minutes from now. Okay, so Rob will join us. We'll get more deep into the NFL. But don't forget, you can come over to Tropicana Atlantic City. If you sign up on our sign-up sheet, your name and your email, you have a chance to win an overnight stay at the Tropicana. You also can win one of these Tropicana hoodies that we have.
Two of them,
yes. Thank you. Sorry, I actually saw that the one got moved. I had a moment where I was like, someone take one.
Hey, we are in Atlantic City. Remember we are in Atlantic City.
I had a moment there. Sorry, I had a moment. But also, if you text in 609-403-0973 with your name and where you're from, you have the opportunity to also win a Caesars Sportsbook hat. If you're watching on YouTube next, you can see this really spanking beautiful hat. And, of course, Caesars Sportsbook, use my promo code Radio20X for your chance for bonus bets on the Caesars Sportsbook app. But before we get to anything else, we got to get back to the Eagles, Mike, because we've talked throughout the show a lot about a lot of different guys, okay? We talked about the defense, talked about the Jalen Carter incident with Vic Fangio, but we haven't talked enough about Jalen Hurts, okay? And Chris Canty.
MVP of the game. Had to be the MVP of the game.
Well, Chris Canty, who is a member of Unsportsmanlike, has heard each week on 97.3 ESPN. Chris Canty, I thought, made a great point. Now, a lot of times, I'll just be honest. I think Canty just says a lot of garbage sometimes on the show. I think he likes to provoke people like me and annoy us because, he played for the Giants and the Cowboys, right? But I do think that you got to give guy credit when credit is due. He made an amazing point yesterday morning on Unsportsmanlike, heard every Monday through Friday, 6:10 a.m., right here on 97.3 ESPN. Nick, hit the bite.
The guy is a winner. Now, why he's not in the conversation for best quarterbacks in the league, all you got to do is look at the stat line. People won't remember the complexion of the game as much as they'll remember the individual statistics. We're penalizing him because of the talent around him. He understands that he doesn't have to have the gaudy statistics that Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson put up in order for his team to have success at the highest level. He just proved that. So his only goal is to be able to have sustained success and to continue to win at the highest level of the sport.
It's an amazing point by Canty, because what Canty has explained to you is what is true. As a football world, as a society, we have trouble gauging who you are if we can't measure who you are. If we can't measure it, then we don't know what to do with you. Success so many times is not about what you can measure. It's about if you get the job done. Jalen Hurts is a winner, and that should be all that matters at the end of the day. We don't talk about it enough. We don't talk enough about the reality that Jalen Hurts does what the most important job is on the field, which is winning the game. Who cares if he has the most passing yards or the most passing touchdowns or the biggest highlight reel throws? The guy wins. You could argue that those three of those runs on Thursday night that he made for first downs were more important than any pass he threw the entire
I
game.
agree. We talked about that when we first came on the air. That to me, he was the MVP of the game easily, just because what he was doing on third downs to keep the ball rolling. And go ahead.
I was going to say, so when Canty says, we got to stop measuring him based on the stats, he's 100% right. Because, I used to get in this argument for years about Jalen Hurts. The intangibles are what matters. Winning is all, like, we credit wins and losses to quarterback, which I've argued shouldn't be done. I think it's stupid. Okay. I can't blame a quarterback if the receiver drops the ball. Like, Dak got a loss on Thursday night. Okay. But we're blaming Dak for that
ball was right there.
CeeDee Lamb's hands.
It was right there.
So,
and Lamb will tell you that.
Right. So it's one of those deals where I can't be the guy to keep blaming quarterbacks for everything or giving them credit for everything. But at the same time, if that's what we're going to do, if that's the rule, if that's how we go about as football fans, then you have to give this man credit that all he does is win. He has the highest winning percentage right now of any starting quarterback in Eagles history with at least 30 wins. So with 30 starts. So if you look at his career, you realize that he's doing his job. And you know what? If he continues to play the way he is, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Because you know who else is in the Hall of Fame? Troy Aikman and Terry Bradshaw. Both of those guys, what did they do, Mike Harlan? They won.
They win. And the other thing that we don't talk about a lot with him, remember how it was always that he wasn't showing enough emotion and this, and we want more out of him in the press. Can't we just take the guy as he's always under control?
Right.
No, he's not flattered. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Not flustered at all.
Yeah.
Okay. He's
Ice water
always
in his veins.
under control. It doesn't matter if there's 10 minutes left in the game or 32 seconds left in the game. He's always on the ball, and he wins. That's all we care about.
And when you think about it, Jalen Hurts, second-round draft pick, right? Look at all the quarterbacks who are picked ahead of him. 2000 draft. Let's rewind it back. Remind folks. Joe Burrow, great quarterback, only one Super Bowl appearance. Jalen has 2. Who else was in that draft? Justin Herbert. Hasn't gotten to a conference championship game. Jalen's been to 2 Super Bowls. Tua Tagovailoa, well, he just can't stay healthy. He's had one healthy year since he's been drafted between the concussions and all the other injuries. Jalen, right now, you could argue if he's not the best quarterback in that class, he's arguably the second best, because at the end of the day, if winning matters, and it's not just a stats.
And not just that. If you put the other 2 quarterbacks on the Eagles, would they do the same? I would say the only one that had a chance is Joe.
Yeah, Burrow.
The other 2, they would be good playing for this team, but they wouldn't be what Hurts is doing. Or I think Joe would do the same. To be honest,
that's the point that Super Bowl champion Tony Eubanks told me a couple of weeks ago on 97.3 ESPN. Tony Banks played for the Baltimore Ravens, the Rams, and he won a championship with the Ravens. And he infamously or famously, depending on who you ask, he was benched that year by the Ravens for Trent Dilfer. And he's talked about it. He said, he says, I hated it at the time, but Trent was the better option that year to help us win a championship. And he said, just because a quarterback has talent around him doesn't mean he is the best equipped to maximize that talent. And I think that's why what you said, Mike Carlin, is important, because Jalen gets something out of these guys. It's not just the guys around him, because people can talk about, Jalen's got talent around him all they want. Name me a great quarterback who didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't.
Literally, the reason why people criticize Fran Tarkenton for losing 4 Super Bowls, or was it 3? I think it was 3 or 4, is the fact that you have a guy in Tarkenton who didn't have a lot of talent around him. So as a result, we criticize these guys if they have talent around them, but nobody is able to win unless they have talent around them. So ultimately, frankly, I think that instead of blaming Hurts for having talent, we got to give him credit for winning with that talent. Because as you said, there's no guarantee if you put Justin Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa on this team that they are winning a championship or even getting the 2 Super Bowls. Now, the only reason why you can say Joe Burrow is because at least Joe Burrow has done it. We've seen Joe Burrow take a team to the biggest game of the year and have a chance to win.
And he's been an MVP.
Not yet. He had a chance to win last year, but still.
The year before that, didn't he win? One of the years he won an MVP.
So just to remind folks, everybody who signs up here at Tropicana Atlantic City, you have a chance to win an overnight stay here at Tropicana. And the second prizes are going to be the hoodies from Tropicana. We need your name and your email address, and you have the opportunity to win an overnight stay at Tropicana or one of these Tropicana hoodies. If you text in at 609-403-0973 with your name and some thoughts on the Eagles, you have a chance to win a Caesars Sportsbook hat. Of course, Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press, he'll be joining us coming up in 12 minutes, talk more NFL here on 97.3 ESPN. And by the way, Nick Earnshaw says Joe Burrow has not won an MVP. So I thought that was true.
Okay.
He had a chance to win it last year, but his team was so bad it didn't matter. So it's one of those deals where it's like, poor Joe Burrow. He had an amazing year last year, but he can't win an MVP because his team and that's why, can I just say on the sidebar? The award is the most valuable player, not the guy with the best stats on the best team. Okay. We got to stop giving these awards to people just because they're on a great team. Okay. Most valuable. You take Joe Burrow off the Bengals.
Nobody.
They have 2 wins?
Yeah, nobody.
3 wins, maybe. And I think that is where people got to stop giving awards to people. Now, look, I will say Josh Allen 100% deserved it last year. I was wrong about Josh Allen and the Bills last year. I thought that their lack of talent was going to hurt them. Allen had an MVP season. He took them to the postseason. I mean, no one knows who Shakur and all those guys are, but yet he got the most out of them, and he's got to do it again, by the way, for the Bills, because they still don't have any great receivers. I mean, and when Keon Coleman is hopefully your best receiver, along with Shakur, Khalil Shakur, then you're.
But a lot of people have them or Baltimore in the finals representing their division.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we talked about this on 97.3 ESPN. I think the Bills are going to win the AFC East just because the rest of the division is not good.
Correct.
The Jets are bad.
New England's not ready.
New England, they're a year away from being a year away.
Yep.
And the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel's on the hot seat. And I think that whole team's going to implode. This is what makes Howie Roseman one of the things that makes him great. Howie Roseman said one of the things that he learned is that you have to hire people who you want to work with, you want to be around. And Howie was very explicit when he said, I want to bring my kids into a locker room and say, hey, don't avoid that guy over there.
Right.
He doesn't want that. The Eagles have had success in part because of the quality of human beings they have brought into this organization. They vet every single player. They are obsessed with putting the right people on the field in the locker room. The Miami Dolphins have not done that.
Miami Dolphins, I knew they were in trouble, Josh, as soon as it came out that Hill wasn't one of the captains. Okay, if you don't think that's a problem in the locker room with Hill walking around saying he's going to go crazy this year in a good way, or it's going to be bad right out of the gate with him.
Listen, I am an anti-Tyreek Hill guy. I know a lot of people in this world, they feel talent, overcomes a multitude of sins. But I'm telling you right now, I don't want those kind of people on my team. I don't want those kind of people as my teammates. If you are a person, okay, think about it this way. There's 7 billion people in the world, okay? And we know that probably, let's say 3 billion of those people are men. And if 1% of those people or 2% of those people are accused of domestic violence and other heinous crimes, right? Why am I giving that small percentage opportunities?
Correct.
When everybody else is
point.
Not being accused of those things? To me, I've never been accused of those things. Have you ever been accused of those things? Right. And not to get preachy, but there's a proverb that says a good name is better than great riches. I would rather have my reputation and have people feel like they can talk to me, they can hang out with me, they can work with me, than be worried that, like for example, Mike Carlin has a daughter. Mike Carlin, I guarantee, would never trust his daughter around Tyreek Hill.
No.
Okay? You trust your daughter around me?
Yeah.
Okay? That's all you need to know. That's what I'm talking about here. Tyreek Hill, the Dolphins have in part built their team around him. And as you said, now he's not even a captain. Okay? You have a combustible situation in Miami. Miami ain't winning that division. That's why the Bills are winning the division. Now, in the AFC North, it's interesting. We'll talk more about Rob Maaddi about this coming up here on 97.3 ESPN, hanging with Hennig in about 8 minutes from now. Baltimore's got a tough road because that division is competitive. Ravens, Steelers, they're fighting for jobs, right? Aaron Rodgers.
It's going to be a great game tomorrow.
He's gonna have a lot to prove, right? Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record in Pittsburgh. Never had a losing record his entire coaching career. You think that when he went to start now? Of course not. And then, the Bengals, talking about Joe Burrow. He's going to be there. So the Ravens, they arguably had the best team on paper. But as we know, paper don't win games on the field. Mike Carlin hanging out with me, Josh Hennig, here live at the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City, where you need to come down and watch all the games we just talked about. Steelers and Jets. Ravens play tomorrow. Monday Night Football is the Bears and Vikings.
Giants, Washington. For a divisional game. We're going to be watching that.
All that's going to be right here on the screens inside the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana Atlantic City. Get ready to level up your game day at Trop AC, introducing the Gridiron Pit powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes every Saturday and Sunday throughout the football season. Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table, located near the cashier's cage. Learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. We'll talk more NFL next with Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press. Hanging with Hennig, 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle, and streaming live on YouTube and X. Just follow at Josh Hennig.
Get ready to level up your game day at Tropicana Atlantic City. Introducing Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes every Saturday and Sunday throughout football season. Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table. Located near the cashier cage. Learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen up. The soap you shower with? It's you probably haven't even questioned what bar of soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. We make our soaps with natural ingredients from the earth. Ingredients like oils, plants, goat's milk, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, shea butter, and citrus. Turn your shower game up to 11. Get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive.
Hey, this is Josh Hennig. Go to my social media and click my exclusive Dr. Squatch link for your chance to save $10 off your next order of great natural soap, deodorant, and much more. Only with Dr. Squatch.
Labor Day savings are here at the Home Depot with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Keep your routines running smoothly with an LG refrigerator you can count on from the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to replace the filter. Gear up for fall with Labor Day savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand, at the Home Depot. Offer valid August 21st through September 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Go where the players go. Come join us all season for Eagles pep rallies, watch parties, and the best in-game experience anywhere. Ice-cold draft beer, world-famous food, and fan-friendly fun for every Eagles game. Every Monday night in South Philly, the Jordan Mailata Show, presented by Miller Lite, followed by Chicky and Pete's Players Lounge with a current player, hosted by Ike Reese and Hugh Douglas. Go where the players go. Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Do you have a large party of 10, 20, even 50 people? We can't wait to treat you like family at Chicky and Pete's. Forget about deposits or credit card reservations. Making a reservation for your large group is effortless at Chickies and Pete's. Lots of options to celebrate and make your night out unforgettable. Order off the menu or select from food and drink packages. Private party rooms available. Make your reservations right now at chickiesandpete's.com. And don't forget, Chicky and Pete's gift cards are the perfect fit for any occasion. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included, for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig hanging out with you live for the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City for the opening weekend of the NFL. We will continue the football conversation. Eagles win opening night. Chargers win in Brazil last night.
Great game.
A huge slate of games tomorrow, and the man who's going to be covering all of it for the Associated Press is Rob Maaddi, and he is back with us for another conversation here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Rob, welcome in. How you doing today? I don't hear Rob, so I'm not fully sure what happened there.
Hey, Josh, I'm here. You got me?
There you are.
We got you.
Rob, how you doing today?
Awesome. I'm doing great, man. How are you guys?
Doing good. So I appreciate you jumping on. I wanted to start here with the Eagles with you, Rob, because, you were someone who, before you became, senior NFL writer, insider for the Associated Press, you covered Eagles exclusively for a long time, and you know the city very well. And I want to know from you, I think what Fangio did on Thursday night is one of the greatest accomplishments we've ever seen from a defensive coordinator because he lost his best player. He allowed 14 points. And it was almost like that scene from Remember the Titans where he's like, don't let them gain another yard. It's almost like Fangio went into the locker room at halftime and said, no more points because they allowed 0 points second half. I think, Rob, an argument can be made that Vic Fangio is one of the greatest defensive coordinators to ever coach in the city of Philadelphia.
You've had Jim Johnson, you've had Buddy Ryan, Jeff Fisher was a pretty good defensive coordinator, but Jim Schwartz won the Super Bowl, giving up 500-plus yards. Fangio's got a ring, so you got to put him up there, certainly, absolutely. And it was a great job by the Eagles settling in, figuring out what to do once they lost Jalen Carter. Now, of course, Miles Sanders helped him out after he breaks loose for a run, doesn't have enough breakaway speed to get away from Zach Bond, and then fumbles on the next play. Or later in that series at some point in that stretch. So that kind of helped a whole lot. But I think to be able to go in with a game plan where you've got a guy who's such a game wrecker like Jalen Carter and you lose on the first play of the game, whether it's injury, whether it's disqualification, you're out of the game, you got to adjust. That was an impressive performance and an impressive job. They need some help in that at the corner position. That is a little concerning. CeeDee Lamb dropped enough passes to where had he caught one or two of them, the outcome could have been different. And he still ended up with 7 for 110, but that was on 13 targets. So there's some areas that the Eagles need to address, and they certainly got to figure it out and figure it out quickly going up against the Chiefs team that is now 0-1 and doesn't want to stare 0-2 in the face in the Super Bowl rematch. So they've got all the incentive to go out there and try to win that game. So I think, I don't know the status yet of Xavier Worthy for the Chiefs, but Vic Fangio is going to have his hands full this week. I think the Eagles are in good hands with Vic running this defense, and we'll see what happens. But there were a lot of good things. I sound like a coach. A lot of good things, a lot of bad things, some things that you got to clean up, and that's what's expected, Josh, out of week one, because this is what the NFL is now. When guys aren't playing much in a preseason, they're not hitting much in a preseason, there's going to be some sloppy football. There's going to be mistakes made, and really the first 2-3 weeks of September are kind of training camp preseason extension.
Rob, you just mentioned about who they got to face next week, and that's kind of where I thought was interesting because the television cameras showed Howie Roseman during the game on Thursday night, swiping on the iPad, making phone calls. I don't think it's a coincidence that less than 24 hours later, Zadarius Smith is in Philadelphia signing a contract. Talk about the addition of Zadarius Smith, because this guy's been one of the best pass rushers in the NFL over the last several years, and the Eagles just basically brought him in with 9 days to prepare for Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm surprised that with such an emphasis on the pass rush out there that Zadarius Smith was even available. He had 9 sacks last year for the Cleveland Browns and the Lions, and he had over 60 pressures, I believe. So he was in the top 10 in all those analytical, like the PFF categories. This is a guy who can still get to the quarterback. The Eagles have done this in the past. Was it Robert Quinn a few years back with somebody that like they'll go and target a pass rusher who has been around, a veteran guy who's on the tail end of his career. But in the case of Zadarius Smith, I mean, he's 32 years old. He's been a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's had success, almost had double-digit sacks last year. And I think it's just a great move for the Eagles to come in there and add depth to that defensive line. And we don't know the status yet of Jalen Carter for this week. I anticipate he'll be able to play. I think even if there is a suspension, there'll be an appeal, and I don't know if that'll be heard immediately. So I think he'll be out there to play, but it certainly helps to have another guy who can disrupt the flow of an offensive attack and a quarterback like Zadarius Smith. And he, like you said, he's got 9 days to get ready, so you can have him ready to go for obvious pass rush situations and be able to give him limited number of snaps quickly enough to get him out there and make an impact.
Hey, Rob, it's Mike. Quick question about Dallas. Even though we're a Philadelphia-based team here, Dallas is always on our radar. What do you think about Dallas after this first game? For what you thought about going in and what you think about the future of Dallas, what did you see that you liked or didn't like?
Well, I thought going in, it was a clear signal. The Micah Parsons trade was that the Cowboys are a rebuilding team. They were a team that's closer to a rebuild than a Super Bowl. They made a move where they got rid of their best player, and that signaled the end of any kind of conversation for them as a Super Bowl contender for 2025. Going into this game, I was not expecting them to be able to keep it as close as they did, to have a lead, to be in position to win. So credit to Brian Schottenheimer for being able to rally the team. You would think it's deflating because there was a lot of expectation that, they'll settle this, Micah Parsons will be out there. And it had to be deflating in the locker room. It had to be something that was just a major, absolute letdown to see him traded, because players don't care about draft picks. They care about the guys who they've been going to war with for several years. And so for them to be able to get together, to rally around that, to go out there to compete hard, and to be in position to win that football game, credit to them. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to be better than a lot of people thought. I still thought they were like a 7-9 win team. I didn't want to give them a double-digit win, somewhere in that 7-9 range. And after the way they played the Eagles, and as closely as they played the Eagles, and as sloppy and the mistakes the Eagles made, and Jalen being out kind of contributed to that too as well. But I think the Cowboys aren't going to be a joke or a team that's getting blown out on a week-to-week basis. Hey, as long as Dak Prescott's healthy, that offense can do some positive things, be productive. George Pickens was a great addition for them. You saw the impact of that against the Eagles on Thursday night. They need a running back who can hold on to the football and not commit costly turnovers like Miles Sanders did. Javonte Williams found the end zone a couple times. So I think this is a team that's going to be more competitive than most thought. Had them in third place and still keep them in third.
Rob Maaddi, senior NFL insider for the Associated Press, joining us here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios. We broadcast live from the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana, Atlantic City. So, Rob, you mentioned about the Kansas City Chiefs earlier. I got to ask you because, last night, Mahomes did his job, right? Mahomes did everything he could to help that team win, but they just didn't have enough to beat the Chargers. Now, I will admit, before the season, I picked the Chargers to win the division. But is this finally the year Kansas City takes that proverbial step back? Or, Rob, do you think Andy is going to find a way to ramp this team up for a playoff run?
Yeah, I'm not going to count them out until they're out. With Andy Reid, with Patrick Mahomes, like you saw some of the things that Patrick Mahomes did yesterday to try and get that team as far as they can go. That losing Xavier Worthy early in the first quarter was a big loss for them. I was more disappointed with the defense not being able to step up and get the stops when they needed those stops at the end of the game in that fourth quarter. To get the football back. Those were just major defensive mistakes that this team made, and Steve Spagnuolo's got to clean things up. I think that offense, it took them a while, obviously, to get going, and they put up 21 points, and that's certainly not good enough for a Chiefs team that we've known to be a little bit more explosive. But early in the season, first game in Brazil, all of those are factors, and they certainly weren't a factor for Justin Herbert, and it certainly wasn't a factor for the Chargers and their offense, which was dynamic and efficient, and Herbert was just tremendous. And I just feel like the Chiefs need to tighten some things up defensively for their sake. Hopefully, they've got all their players, their playmakers, able to go out there and get back out there. And Hollywood Brown being healthy, being on the field, is somebody who we saw can stretch the field, something that they need on that offense. So I thought that was a big plus, a positive for them. And I'm just not ready at all to count them out. And, I picked them to win the Super Bowl. So you know where I stand on the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
That's okay. They can lose the division and still make the Super Bowl. We've seen that happen before. So we both can be right, Rob. It's okay.
Absolutely. Hey, you weren't the only one who picked the Chargers. I had a conversation with Emmanuel Acho the other day for my new On Football podcast for the AP, and I said, if there's a team in the West to dethrone them, who is it? And if there's a team in the conference, and he picked the Chargers in the West and the Texans in the conference. So there's a lot of people who think the end is here. Not the end is near, but the end is here for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is that On Football podcast? That can be found wherever we get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube, Rob?
Good question, but not just yet. Not till next week. This week it was a little bit different of a format. Went out to the AP's broadcast partners.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is because I am very interested in hearing this Emmanuel Acho conversation, because I think Acho is a very fascinating individual when he has a legitimate conversation, not when he's being asked to give 30-second takes on television, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. For sure.
Rob knows. Rob's worked in the business. He knows the difference between the guy who's allowed to actually make his point and the guy who is being told, you got 30 seconds, go. What was that, Mike?
Yeah. And hey, I'm also a non-player, and I have opinions and thoughts, and I can back those up. So apologies to all the players who feel like if you're a non-player, you can't speak on anything.
Can I just say really quick, as you brought that up, for those who didn't see it, so Ryan Clark tried to make a comment on ESPN's First Take yesterday, and Peter Schrager snapped back at him so strong that Ryan...
To his credit, yeah.
Oh, he deserves credit, but you could see, if you watch the video, and this is where I don't want to rip Ryan, because if Ryan made a mistake, you could see the look on his face. He realized the moment he said it that he shouldn't have said it, So I don't think Ryan, and this is my opinion, I don't think Ryan was trying to be malicious, but this is now multiple times where Ryan Clark has said something that he shouldn't have said. The person who he said it about clapped back on him, and he was forced to retract it. So, sometimes what does the Bible say? Be slow to speak and quick to listen, Rob.
Yep, absolutely. And I want to know what was said off the air, because Clark last night during the Chiefs-Chargers game posted an apology for having what he called an interaction with Schrager on the air and off the air. Well, we saw on. We didn't hear what was off. So that would have been cool to be a fly on the wall for that one.
Rob, a couple more before we let you go. AP senior NFL insider Rob Maaddi at Rob Maaddi on the X platform, at the Real Rob Maaddi on Instagram. We talked about the AFC North before you came on, Rob. I think this is going to be, I know people talk about the AFC West all the time because of the Chiefs, but the AFC North, you could argue, is also extremely competitive. And I want to know from you, how do you measure that division? Because the Ravens might be the best team on paper, but Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers have something to prove. Joe Burrow, we know what he wants to do on the field. And if the Bengals get any modicum of defense, they are going to be in that division conversation. And I think the Browns are going to make life miserable for some people.
Yeah, and the team that I picked to win the division in the North, I also feel are going to lose on Sunday night to the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens. It's an extremely difficult division, and Baltimore's loaded with talent. For them, it's a matter of who are you facing in January and can you beat them, because they've had so much trouble in the playoffs being able to get to where they want to go, and that being the Super Bowl. I think the Bengals, if their defense can obviously do a better job than they did last year when they gave up plus 30 points in about 4 of their 4 games in a 7-game stretch or something like that. They've got the offense. They've got Joe Burrow. They're dynamic. We know that they can get to a Super Bowl. They've been there. He's beaten Patrick Mahomes. They've defeated the Chiefs in the playoffs, so they've got that going for them. And then the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers. Does he have one last stand in him? I'm going to be interested to see that. I'm setting up the TVs as we speak right now to be able to watch the Bucs on the main and the Jets and Steelers on the secondary, with all the other games on the iPad and the laptop and everything else. So that's where I feel about the Steelers. Like, they make it to my top 2 games that I'm going to be watching in the 1 o'clock segment because I want to see what Aaron Rodgers can do. And I think they're obviously loaded up to win now. They've got a lot of veterans on that team, and I think it's going to be an extremely competitive North. And the Browns are certainly they're not going to be a pushover. Whenever you have Myles Garrett on defense, somebody who is just that incredible of a football player who can take over games, I think he can keep the defense and create nightmares for offenses to where they can hurt teams and they can be a spoiler oftentimes.
He's Rob Maaddi. Give him a follow on X at Rob Maaddi. Of course, he is AP Senior NFL Insider at apnews.org. And, of course, he is also the host of Faith on the Field, heard Saturday and Sunday mornings right here on 97.3 ESPN. And, Rob, one more time, plug the new show when you're going to have Emmanuel Acho on next week.
Yeah, it's called On Football. It's a new podcast. It might even be a YouTube show for the AP. So we'll have more news on that coming up this week. I have potentially a very special guest this week, too, who may make his debut with a new team that plays out of Wisconsin. So definitely we'll be excited if we can make that happen.
What did they used to say on Levitard's show? CC, very intrigued. Rob Maaddi getting landing all the interviews, and he joins us here on 97.3 ESPN. Rob, I appreciate you making time out of your busy schedule to jump on today.
Anytime, guys. Keep up the great work.
Josh Hennig hanging out with you live from the Gridiron Pit inside Tropicana Atlantic City. And don't forget, my friends over at the Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on Gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code Radio20X. Place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet at $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional wagers, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Along with Mike Carlin, I'm Josh Hennig, hanging out with you. One more segment coming up. We will announce the winner of the overnight stay here at Tropicana Atlantic City. We've had tons of people come up and sign up throughout the day. Also, I'll let people know who won the hats from texting into the text board at 609-403-0973. All that more coming up next. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
Sunday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL, the battle for the NFC East begins as we kick off the new season in our nation's capital. It's the Washington Commanders hosting the New York Giants. Hi, this is Chris Carino. Join Brian Baldinger and me for all the Week 1 action. Football is back. It's the sensational Jaden Daniels and the Commanders taking on Russell Wilson and the Giants. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
It's NFL Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 12:30.
This football season, catch every game at the best sports bar in South Jersey. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern on Roosevelt Boulevard in Marmora features every Eagles game with the sound on, along with every NFL primetime matchup, as well as the biggest college football games every weekend. Don't miss out on yesterday's nightly food specials starting at 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, along with reverse happy hour specials 9 p.m. to close each week. Plus, yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora has all the Phillies games with the sound on the TVs for all of September and the can't-miss action of Red October. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora is the place to be this football season. So call your friends and catch all the games at the Y.
Whether you're outside for work or just outside for fun, you need apparel and accessories that can keep up. At the Hub, you'll find it all. Lightweight shirts, cooling tees, shorts, hats, and boots in sizes for men and women, including regular, big, and tall. The Hub has the brands you know and trust. Carhartt, Dickies, Timberland Pro, Wolverine, Wigwam, Levi's, and that's just the start. Need gear for the job site? They've got you covered. Looking for something comfortable for the weekend or the beach? They have that too. Stay cool with moisture-wicking fabrics, breathable button-ups, and lightweight work jackets for early mornings. The Hub is your summer destination for clothing that works as hard as you do. From rain gear to sun hats, steel-toe boots to casual sandals, they carry it all. Find the right fit, the right style, and the right price every time you shop.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included, for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Looking for the ultimate sports bar experience? Welcome to Ventnor Social, Down Beach's newest upscale sports bar. Watch every play on 27 big screen TVs with a state-of-the-art sound system that puts you right in the action. Grab a cold drink, savor American eats and fresh seafood, and don't miss their unbeatable lunch, happy hour, and dinner specials. Enjoy live music on the open-air deck, an arcade for the family downstairs, and video games that will level up your night. Ventnor Social on Ventnor Avenue. Visit their Facebook page for up-to-date info and specials.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on Gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I want my picks back. I want David Putney.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
I want all my picks back, and I want David Putney just because I feel like it.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I am. Haven't I proved that already?
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
No audio, 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 dead air, dead air.
Josh Hennig hanging out with you with the Gridiron Pit at Tropicana Atlantic City. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there for a moment, but we are live here hanging out with you. And we want to, first of all, before we get to the prize giveaways here, because we have the overnight hotel stay to give away. We have also the 2 hoodies we're going to give away. And we also have the hats for the text board. We want to say thank you to Chickies and Peach, which is right next door to us. They brought over some amazing crab fries.
I dug into them already.
I know, you just couldn't wait.
I couldn't.
And also some wings. So, Nick, you will be happy there are some flats in this array.
Flats only. Flats only.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's a huge argument between Nick and Gil. Gil's a drums guy, Mike Gill.
I love flats.
Nick Earnshaw's a flats guy, so
I've gone to places and ordered just flats, and they look at me like, no, we don't do that.
Well, you and Nick and Earnshaw should hang out more often. Yeah. There you go, Nick. You got a brother in arms over here.
Listen, Charlie's a couple weeks ago, they helped me out. They got me all flats a couple weeks ago.
That's good enough. Good enough.
Good.
Let me give a quick shout out to Chef D. He's the executive chef here at Tropicana.
Yep.
He always stops by, listens to the show religiously all week, not just our show here, but all week long. And,
great guy.
He's going to be helping us out with a lot of food ventures, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, he's also just a great guy too. Just a good guy. So really quick, I want to say Penn State. Let's going to cover that under as I told everybody about.
20-0, 4 minutes to go.
Yeah. So Penn State's going to hit the under. I mean, I'm just trying to help you guys make some money. I'm just trying to help people, Mike Carlin. You know,
the under was what, 53?
It was 53.5. I think it's 52, 53, but whatever, doesn't matter. The under's hitting.
But the other thing, being a Penn State fan, guess what? You're not number 2 next week.
No,
you're not playing at home against them and winning
20-0. I mean,
you're dropping.
Now I will say the weather might be impacting the game a little bit. So, all right, Nick Earnshaw. So if you can jump, I'm gonna pop you back in here. So if you jump on the mic there, Earnshaw, turn on your camera.
I'm here.
So you're gonna help with this contest really quick. So I need you. So between 1 and 50, I want you to give me 3 random numbers. Okay.
Right.
This way we make sure that nobody thinks we're trying to give out favoritism.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So Nick Earnshaw, give me your first number between 1. I have 50 people who have signed up for this hotel stay. So between 1 and 50, give me a number.
9.
Okay.
The hotel stay is going to Frank. I think Frank's over on the other side of the floor over there. So he's
one of those guys been playing.
Yeah. Give me your second number.
26.
That's on the other page. 26 is Christy. So Christy's going to get a Tropicana hoodie. And give me your third number.
49.
49 is, I know how to count, Carlin. I had Carlin over here trying
Carlin's
to point
pointing. Yo, this number. How do you get there?
I know what the numbers are, Carlin. Okay.
Carlin's like, you sure? Can you count?
Apparently, he thinks I can't count.
I took down some wrong.
He's been a dad for too long. He's so used to trying to help everybody.
Love it.
Number 49 would be Rob V. Rob and Christy are going to get the hoodies, but Frank, who I believe is over at the blackjack table over there, he's going to get the overnight stay here at Tropicana. So Nick, we had 50 people sign up.
Awesome.
So really quick, we are also going to announce the text board. So the text board is going to get the free hats from the Caesars Sportsbook. So it's Justin in Galloway, Jeff in Summers Point, Andrew in Summers Point, and Bill in Cape May Courthouse. So I will be contacting everybody after the show. I will be reaching out to all of you, letting you all know. Nick, thank you for helping us draw our winners. And of course, Nick always does a great job back in the studio with the locker room with Billy Schweim and my show helping out when I'm on location. Also, Nick's Nuggets during the week here on, oh my goodness, we got more food coming.
Wow, I see it, but I'm jealous.
I mean,
I'm jealous.
Chickies and Pete's just hooking us up with all kinds of food.
We're going to put on the magic real quick. Just tell us what you got real quick.
Yeah, we're going to put you on the radio really quick. So this is impromptu. So what's your name again?
Angelica.
Angelica, first of all, thank you so much for dropping out the food because the Gridiron Pit is right next to Chickies and Pete's here in Tropicana, Atlantic City. So tell us, first of all, everyone knows about the crab fries.
Yep.
I mean, that's world famous. Yep. But tell us about the other 2 items you brought over for us.
So also, it's game day, so you want to get some wings. We got buffalo wings here. These are the bone-in wings.
Yep.
You can get them with ranch or blue cheese. You could also get boneless. And then starting on Monday, we are introducing sliders.
Wow.
So we have burger sliders, we have crab cake sliders, and we also have buffalo shrimp sliders as well. So on Monday, that'll be on our new limited time menu for the fall.
So it's limited time for the fall. So basically football season and then they're gone.
Yep. Well, we'll see. If they're good, maybe we'll keep them.
Well, they look good. So thank you so much for bringing those over.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Again, the Gridiron Pit right next to Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City. Josh Hennig hanging out with you as we wrap up the show. Thanks again Nick Earnshaw back in the studio. Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press. Thanks to Chris Downey for joining us from Tropicana, as well as Andy McNamara, Fantasy Football Talk, each and every week. Thanks to Mike Carlin for joining me on site. Mike, thanks again for everything.
Always a pleasure.
Always appreciate everything that you do as well. Thanks to all of you listening on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. Thanks to everybody participating in our contest. We'll be back here next month for Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN.
Caesars Sportsbook app is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet
Guys
on
are clear,
Gridiron
thanks.
action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like Whirlpool that can